Is the sheep preaching hate when he says, I'm not going to let the wolf eat me anymore? If the wolf comes in here, next time he comes in here, I'll do whatever I have to do to keep him off my back. Is the sheep violent or is the wolf the violent one? He wasn't teaching hate, he was teaching common sense. You know, somebody's knocking him over the head, and stop him. Do whatever you have to do to stop him. You know, the ones that were knocking him over the head were afraid of the fact that he might swing back. So they said, no, he's teaching hate. He's violent.
Black skin, white mask. Already know that life gets hard. And they say that we're used to the harshness. If it wasn't for the pain, I'd laugh. Truth is, we knew about light before dark. Turned music to art and taught everyone to dance. And still no chance. Freedom must be too much to ask. Bleeding from the ache in my heart. Sometimes I wish it was whites in the middle like France. No, I'm not racist, just jarred. Got hate before bush, not plants. They say we should leave it all in the past, but my brother's still dying on the end, so I can't. So if my attitude stinks, don't ask, cause a hashtag won't help you understand my stance. Fuck a melody. This is real rap if you ever see. Head hot, cause the system won't let me be. Tell me how I thrive in a place that don't cherish me. And they wonder why we all need therapy. Pre the energy. Just another nigga to Penelope. And they don't get it how we bottom of the barrel and still drip sauce on the world, no recipes. Weight of the world on my shoulders. All the pressures in life still tightly holding me. Pour libation for all of the fallen soldiers. But the pain still goes unspoken. They want us to stay broken. Never gonna fall, fuck folding. I see my people lost hope, shit. Don't you know we all been chosen.
We are oppressed. We are exploited. We are downtrodden. We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights. So the only way we're going to get some of this oppression and exploitation away from us or aside from us is come together against the common enemy.
Forgive me if you don't understand. Sorry, I'm just misunderstood. Punished if I try to take a stand. Meanwhile, my friends dying in the hood. And you can say that we're killing ourselves, but the truth is they're killing us still. How you saying Black Lives Matter, but never took a moment to help? Just a trend that you post for yourself. And yeah, it takes a toll on my health, cause I want wealth like everyone else. But it's 10 times harder to me. And they wonder why my brothers put food on a scale. Yeah, when I die, I'll see heaven, that's real. Cause we already living in hell. Wish I could share all the pain I felt. Oh well, I guess I won't speak till my scars do heal. I just wanna be black with a mill. Yeah, that's for every time I had no meals. Cause my mother couldn't keep up the bills. With a handful of kids, no home, just a cell. And I don't care if conscious don't sell. Knowledge brings height to an elf. Went from sitting on thrones to a cell. Been blessed, man, it wasn't by chance we fell. Weight of the world on my shoulders. All the pressures in life still tightly holding me. Pour libation for all of the fallen soldiers. But the pain still goes unspoken. They want us to stay broken. Never gonna fall, fuck folding. I see my people lost hope, shit. Don't you know we all been chosen?
Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God made you?
Yes, blessed love family, it's that time of the week again. Blessed love, how are you? I hope everybody's had a really amazing week. It's been a very positive week from our end. There's loads going on in the background which you're going to hear about moving forward. You know, there's lots of really positive advancements, let's just call it that, shall we, that you guys are going to hear about going forward. I hope everybody's well. Blessed love, all of the mods. You done know, Rima Truth, all about the black, Paula, Lioness Keeks, everybody's in the room. Not sure if Sister Shani's here. I know she's probably playing out tonight. It's so good to be back again here on a Friday. Do you know what was great about taking a break though is the fact that you come back fresh, you know? But there's been lots going on in the space this week. I'm not really going to go into like, you know, I was jumping on some lives and stuff like that. We know that Mega had a live and there was a huge discussion in the space over the last week and whatever. And there are some, there are aspects of that we can talk about. And there's been other stuff going on as well. Do you guys remember that song? Some gal are hyper for me, I mean, and they're not ready yet. Me say them are hyper for me and they're not ready yet. Yeah, I think that's how the lyric goes anyway. My DJing days are a bit rusty. Yeah, man, enough gal are hyper for me and they're not ready yet. That's what's going on, my brothers and sisters. But less said about that, because it really is very inconsequential. We always get the passer on the Instagram. That's where the dross is at the end of the day. But tonight we're going to feature a brother. He's been up on the gram. Not that well known because, contrary to popular belief, we don't just feature well-known people like Dylan Duffus and whoever else. That's not the way it goes here. It's the stories that we get from women that we investigate, and those are the stories that we have. So this person, incidentally, it's an interesting story because it's been sort of unfolding as we go along, and this week it's kind of escalated in terms of unfolding. But I only became aware in the last hour or so that this individual is actually connected by way of someone else, which we're going to get into later on. But he's connected to my ex-husband, Viv Amun. Well. Isn't that interesting? His time is up, family, if you cast your minds back long enough to when I told my story. But anyway, we'll get into the meat and potatoes of that. We're going to have a sister coming on who is going to tell her story about this individual. His name is Ockeve Owens. Let me just see if I can get the mugshot. Where are you? His name is Ockeve Owens. All right. And he is an individual that has been accused and charged, might I add, with a GBH on his partner. Quite nasty. But let me let the sister tell her story, and then we're going to chop it up. That's what we're going to do. Blessed love, my sis. You're on mute, sis. Let me unmute you. Actually, you have to unmute at this stage. Can you unmute for me, sis? Hello? Sister? I don't think she realizes she's on yet. She's been in the backstage for quite a bit. She probably doesn't realize she's on. Sis, can you hear us?
So
you're there. You're there. Blessed love, my sister. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, sis? It's always a technical, isn't it? Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, brilliant. We're coming through loud and clear now. We're coming through loud and clear now, my sister. Blessed love, sis. Welcome to His Time Is Up.
Thank you.
So I've just shown the picture. I'll show it again. It's Ockeve Owens is your ex, isn't it?
Yes, he is.
Can you just take the listeners, the viewers through how it is that you met this individual? Just give us a little bit of background, at your will, whatever you feel comfortable to talk about. But don't go into too much detail that might jeopardize the case, because there is a case, isn't there, sis, upcoming?
Yes, definitely. He's got a lot of charges.
Right.
Multiple.
Okay, so just give us a bit of background. Tell us how, you guys got into being in the same orbit. I'm going to turn my camera off for a hot minute, but I'm here with you. I can hear you. Okay?
Okay.
Oh.
So I met Ockeve when I was working, and initially he took my number because of networking, because he claimed that he had a herbal drinks business, and I said that I can do delivery because he said that he was looking for delivery drivers. So that's how we linked up initially, and then it turned into a romantic relationship after some months. But I wasn't sure about him because I had not had a relationship for a long time after I had my baby. And he kind of, swept me off my feet and told me everything I wanted to hear, I needed to hear. I was vulnerable at the time. My child was young, and he infiltrated me and my family, and I thought he was a good person. But soon enough, I think the first time that he hit me, and it was in front of the kids, it was last year, October.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I still was in a very vulnerable stage in my life where I couldn't let him go, and it was trauma bonding. So it's like I kind of was an enabler, and then I kept quiet about the abuse. I didn't tell my family, I didn't really tell my friends. I just said, oh, we're having arguments and stuff, but I never told them about the fact that he was physically abusing me, and it was mental abuse as well, because the stuff that he says, the death threats, all of that. He's a very dangerous individual, because later on down the line in the relationship, he told me that he broke his baby mother's hand.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just all red flags. But you know, when you really love the person and you think you can change them,
Mm-hmm.
and mixed with vulnerability, that's what kept me and him together. But he physically abused me so much that I just kind of got desensitized to it, and I
Mm-hmm.
stayed with him because it was just I didn't know nobody else after the kids, and
Mm-hmm.
he took them all on, and he just had me wrapped around his finger. And he was unemployed, he still is, and he goes for women that are established, that have careers, you know, that
Mm-hmm.
are educated, that have their own
Mm-hmm.
houses and cars, so he can just use them, because he don't drive, he doesn't work, he just goes from odd job to odd job. And he was working for me at a point, but everything he ever done for me was for money. Painting my house, him doing my tiling, I paid him. And you shouldn't pay your man to do nothing.
No,
But it's because he was
certainly
broke.
not.
It's because he was broke, and he's a user, he's a womanizer. He was, you know, he was cheating on top of physically abusing me. He was sleeping with older women, white women, get love scamming. I found his bank statements when I was cleaning up his house, and all white women, little.
You're breaking up, sis.
It was just shocking. And when everything came up, we always had a physical fight about his cheating and stuff like that. It's not that I knew that he was actually physically sleeping
But
with
sis,
anyone.
there's a reason that is particularly significant, because cheating on its own is not really viewed by anyone as any sort of crime, unless it is that you're in a particular religion, right? Can you hear me, sis? Hello? Sister, your phone keeps going quiet. Can you hear me? Hello? Oh my goodness. Sis? Sis, can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Have I gone quiet or something? Put up a one if you guys can hear me. Are you okay, sis? My sister? You guys can hear me. Sis, are you okay? You've gone completely quiet. Let me just give Krista a call on the line. Not sure what's happened there. Hello? That is weird. Sis, let me just give Sister a call. All right, yeah, I got worried like you guys actually. Sis is all right. She's just got really bad internet connection right now, and she's trying to come back in as we speak. Yeah, I don't know what it is lately, actually, but there's been a lot of interference with internet. Certainly where I live, there's been a lot going on. No, she's not crying. She's a very strong sister. You know, I think she's cried a million tears over this, bro. Okay, she's back. Brilliant, sis.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
there?
sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
lovely.
the
We're gonna
Wi-Fi
have
is
to work with
terrible.
it. Yeah, we're gonna have to work with it tonight, aren't we? All right. So
Yeah.
continue, sis.
So, yeah, but you were saying something about cheating and it tying up.
I
So
was
I was,
saying that you know, we've become so degenerate within our own culture that cheating isn't seen as anything, but it is
yeah.
significant if you belong to a particular religion like Islam or whatever. So it's very
Mm.
significant for you guys, isn't it, if he cheats? Because tell us the reason.
Well, it's the thing is that I don't really have a kind of like a comment about the cheating. It's
No, sis,
it's just
I'm talking about the lifestyle. He belongs to a particular religion, doesn't he? So
oh
cheating
yes,
is
he's
out of the
Jewish.
question.
He's
That's
Jewish.
the point.
Yeah, he's Jewish. He's
Hebrew. Yeah.
he's Hebrew. He did say that he was a priest in Jamaica, but I really
Mhm.
doubt that, because even with fornication, he's got a very twisted view on fornicating. He said that, oh, if you're my woman, then there's no problem because I've got intentions to marry. Intentions doesn't mean you are married. It's still wrong if you're religious. Do you know what I mean? Because some people
Mhm.
aren't. But what I said to him was that you can't just claim to be a priest and claim to be all holier than thou, and you're smoking how much weed, you're doing all this kind of stuff, and then you're standing up there persecuting.
Mhm.
It's just I think that he likes to play the mental health card because he was in the army, and he say, oh, I've got PTSD, or oh, and I need help, and try and act like he's the victim. But if you don't sort
Mhm.
yourself out, you can't project your the violence on everybody else. You're not going to get anywhere.
Mm. He's
You're just
originally
going to put
born in
yourself.
Jamaica, isn't he? And so when you say Jewish, I think people are kind of imagining we're talking about Orthodox Jews or something like that. We are talking about Black Hebrew Israelites who reclaim, and I don't necessarily disagree with the Hebrew Israelite
Yeah,
doctrine, but what I have seen a lot from that sector, and particularly when I lived in Tanzania, because there was a lot of African American Black Hebrew Israelites coming over when we were there during COVID, and they came with polygamous families and whatever, which is fine in Tanzania. It's perfectly legal, and a lot of people have polygamous families. But
yeah.
I saw a lot of brothers from the West who, in my opinion, were kind of cloaking behind the Hebrew Israelite thing to get away with their usual nastiness that they probably did when they were on road in America or wherever else. We had a couple of
Mm,
English stuff like that too. And so I'm not convinced with some of these Hebrew Israelite brothers. I think they're bringing the whole thing into disrepute. And I just want to make it really clear where I stand in terms of that doctrine, because there's a lot of it that I hold with. You understand? And I know that that can only be a good thing, but you got brothers like this that are using it to justify having illicit affairs with loads of different women, and generally to just put themselves around in the same way they did when they weren't in the religion. Would that be
yeah.
an accurate assessment, my sister?
Oh, definitely. But he says, "Oh no, I don't believe in having a second wife." He says all of that, but he was having sex with so many women I couldn't even count when I
Mm.
found out, and they were all white. He was stealing
Which
their
is totally
money.
against those teachings, right? That's about
Yeah,
bloodline. Mhm.
definitely, and everything. Whenever we'd get into an argument, he's calling me bent blood. Every single baby mother he has is either white or mixed race, but he would persecute everybody. And he's a black guy going for these mixed women, and
Mhm.
I don't really understand because he's just a big hypocrite. Everything that he says, it
So
just
that's what we've
contradicts.
established in that regard, that that he's a hypocrite. So
He's
tell
a
us a
hypocrite.
little bit more, sis, about how the relationship developed.
So he was just very intense. He was love bombing me, and the thing is that this is where he got me because I was vulnerable and I needed support. It wasn't financial because I've got myself. It was emotional. It was where I was feeling low, and he was there for me, I was there for him, but it was very toxic because he's very paranoid. And even if I wanted to leave, when I tried to leave, he would cuss me out and say I'm cheating on him with 5 men, like as if to say I've got the time for that. I've got a family to look after and I'm with him. So he who thinketh doeth, he was doing all of that, and he was just trying to control me. And that is really what it was.
Yeah. It's
That that's
usually about control, isn't it?
that is all he was doing. He was just trying to control my life and just
Mm,
abuse me. But it's like he was so angry and upset with the fact that his life isn't, great. And if you look at the bare facts of it, he's unemployed. He's not doing good for himself. He's abusive. He don't like himself because he don't like the way that he is, but he can't help it, and he doesn't want to get help. He's smoking so much weed. He's mad in himself, and he's
right.
trying to drag women down with him.
And do you think there's a kind of a jealousy or a resentment because of
Oh,
your
100%. He told me that he was jealous of me, that even for the fact that my family love me, because it's
well,
him. He's got mother issues.
they talk about daddy issues, but there's a lot of mummy issues going on out here with the
He's
brothers.
got mother issues. He does not
Yeah.
trust women. He has been cheated on, and he's told me these stories. And I never bring my past relationship, troubles into what I've got going on with someone, because I'm not going to tar everyone with the same brush. But he
Mm.
used to do it to me. Apparently, when he went on tour, when he was in the army, he moved a girl in, and when he came back early, he caught her in bed in his house with another man. Well,
This
that's
is
not
when he was
me.
in the
There's nothing
army.
I can do about that. Yeah, yeah. And it's like those kind of things really stick to him and it really cuts him deep. But that is not my problem. I can't do nothing about that. I'm not her. If you really hate women that much, don't be with any of us. You don't have to
Mm.
abuse us because you've been hurt. You need to go to therapy, go to counseling, and utilize what the military is giving you, to try and get you mentally well. Because you're never going to be the same, but at least don't put your hands on people. And this is the problem with him, because Ockeve thinks that he can hit women under quiet and then say, "Oh, I love you," and then he's a predator as well, because he could beat you up and then sleep with you 2 minutes later. It's disgusting.
But that's classic, isn't it? It's classic perpetrator behavior, the control, the love bombing, the gaslighting, the
Yep.
resentment
And
because you're doing better than them.
and
It's
then
just
he'll act like he never done nothing, because he does not admit verbally that he put his hands on me, and it's happened so many times. But I've got messages where he's apologizing, even making stuff to make my eye go down,
mm-hmm.
and say, "Oh, babes, I'm sorry." He's broken so much jewelry of mine because we've been having these fights, and he is 6'5". He can
Oh,
overpower me.
see
He
that
could dead
too.
me. He could dead me in what's a split second. And this guy has so much strength for women, it's unbelievable.
So tell us a little bit, sis, about the violence. How and when did that start?
It started because of his paranoia. He just thinks everybody's cheating. I'm a liar for everything. If I don't pick up my phone quick enough,
Mm.
if if I don't want to be with him, if we have an argument and I say, "Look, this is toxic. I think that you need to leave." We get into an argument. Who you giving attitude to? Next minute, you're trying to box me in my face. Next minute, you're picking up a weapon. There's been times when he's gotten extension leads. He's trying to strangle me with it. He said, "Becky, do you want me to show you how I could dead you and get away with it?" The man is mad. He's mad.
Bro, sister, I've actually been through those things myself with who us on this platform. We know him as Whatless Baby Father.
Mhm.
He blocked his daughter on WhatsApp, our daughter, on WhatsApp 3 years ago, and hasn't looked back since, amongst other things. But yeah, I've been through that, my sister. I know exactly what that feels like.
Yep.
You're treated as if you're his unruly child that's being ranked with him, and that
Imagine.
you're due a box in the mouth anytime that you want to speak up for yourself.
Exactly. And I wouldn't mind, but the
Absolutely.
man ain't got nothing. He has nothing. So that's all he has. All he has is strength for women. He ain't got nothing in his bank account. He's in rent arrears. He's just upset. And he strategically goes for women that actually have money. And then he'll turn around and say, "You never done anything for me. I'm not your mother. And even if I was, you're 35. Get a job and stand on your own 2 feet. You're living in the studio. In fact, you got 9 pick-me. Now it's 10. It's like the baby come and fall out of the sky from nowhere. Because the
And
last time
you guys have a child together, don't you?
no, we don't have any children together.
Oh,
Thank
that's right.
God
Yes.
we do not.
Yes,
Because
yes.
every single woman that's got a child with him, he stalks and he bothers them and he controls them and he tries to put his input in. But he is a toxic dad. He's a terrible parent. Terrible.
That is so true, Miss Barnesy. It's certainly in my experience with what this baby father, it's always the broke pocket man then that go answer. It's so true, Miss Barnesy. That's what I said in my experience. You know, that my other exes that had money and whatever, they didn't want to abuse anyone. I think they were just quite comfortable in their own skin, you know. So yeah, tell us a little bit more, sis, about you know, the incident that's led up to where we are now, I think. Or, you know, share a little bit of the background, you know, where it started as well, the violence, because obviously it didn't start straight away. It never does it? Oh, not the internet again. It's one of them nights, people. One of them nights. It's one of them nights. Yeah, we got to start teaching our young daughters to start looking for red flags. We need a whole program called red flags, you know. Try get back on for us, sis. I don't know who this is. She's come off again. She'll come back in a second. Looks like she's got connectivity problems all over again. Who's this? Let me just take this call, people. It might be significant. All right, sis, we got you back. Yeah, I was saying, if you can just tell us, like, at what point the violence started and then lead us up to where we are now with the incident that has taken place.
So we was together for a year. We met in July, August, started being together, I think September. And the violence started practically, you know, the month after. So October, the end of October was the first time he put his hands on me. He come from a party and he was a bit tipsy. And yeah, we got into an argument over nothing. It was actually no, there was a condom in his pocket. And that's when he decided to get on top of me and strangle me in front of my kids.
Wow.
Yeah. And the kids were saying, stop, stop. And I told them to just shut the door. That's the only thing that I could tell them to do. Do you know what I mean? I didn't want them seeing it. And then, yeah, he punched me in my face and he's got big, big rings. So he split my lip open. I couldn't even go to do the school run for like a week or two. He had to take the kids to school.
Wow. And we can't actually, we're not showing the injuries to your face tonight because obviously you don't want your face shown. So we're not able to really show those injuries tonight. But I've seen them and they're not nice. Or I've seen your latest injuries, should I say. You're talking about something more historical, aren't you?
Yeah, this is the first time that he put his hands on me and it was very bad.
Mm-hmm.
But there's been so many occasions. I think he's hit me about 10 times in the space of a year. And that is just ridiculous. You know,
Wow.
He's literally taking out whatever he's got going on me. And I was the wifey, but he was literally having so many girls on the go, sleeping with them unprotected, busting inside these white women and telling them that he loves them, that he's going to give them ring. And I've seen these messages. It's not like as if to say I never saw it. And he was still telling me barefaced, swearing on the Torah that he weren't doing anything with anyone.
That is very much sacrilegious. I know that.
He is such a blasphemous demon. And he used to call all me and all these women demons. But who's the real demon when I could never swear on the Bible and lie? I can't do that. And in all he talks about is religion, but he swore on the Torah. And then when I found out everything, he said, no, I was talking to the sister and she's mixed race. Why are you telling me about mixed race, this, that, pink, purple, blue? You were cheating, unprotected. You could give me HIV.
There's something that you sent me. I don't think I uploaded it. I might try and play it, actually. a little bit later on. But there's something that you sent me that where he was kind of cursing out African women. But we'll get to that in a
Yes,
second, sis.
yes.
We'll get
He
to that in a
hates
second.
Africans.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. One of them is he. So these, obviously there were beatings prior
Yes.
to where we are now. Tell us what led up to where we are now. We'll look at that in a second.
Well, it just got to the point where it just got too much. And I thought to myself, how am I supposed to allow a man to go around doing this? And I could dead from this. And if I let this carry on, then someone else could dead from this. And I said, you know what, I have to put a stop to this because this man is literally out here manipulating and abusing. And sometimes you need to just stop protecting these men. And you need to get the book thrown at them, even if you don't want to do it, because they are scumbags. I didn't do nothing to deserve this. I never cheated on this dirty boy. I didn't do nothing to him. I let you into my home and with my kids, and you just come and just mash up everything. Yeah, that's what it is.
Sis, I'm gonna play because we do give them the right to reply, and the young man was extremely eager to reply. He had following the post, he had DM'd me, which I'll show you his DMs in a second. I will show them in a second actually, because there was an interesting one that came in just before the live from him. But yeah, he DM'd me and I got back to him. We jumped on a call, and I'd like you to listen to that call because it was recorded. You guys tell me what you think, because for what you're describing, the young man that I spoke to on the phone sounded like a very polite, very exemplary young man. He was very nice.
Yeah, he does that.
Yeah. Let's hear it. Right, let's just find that. Pop one if you guys can hear that good. Hello, could I speak with Amen, please?
Yes, Miss speaking.
Oh, hi, it's Afua Rose calling.
Okay, Miss, thank you very much.
Oh, hi there. I apologise for not getting back sooner, but I do get like hundreds of messages and it takes time to wade through them all, And I've been working as well, so I apologise.
Yes, madam.
I'm glad you contacted me because I do, I do like to speak to people in these situations and give them the right to reply and, just hear their side of the story. It's never one way,
Thank you very much, madam. Madam, you know what? This is what I will say to you at first, yeah? To make you understand the whole situation, yeah? I can't fool 2 judges. I can't fool the whole police station, yeah?
Right.
Madam, me used to got laminated in my house. I got a leak upstairs.
Okay.
I have to take them up. I put carpet. My walls is white. Yeah? Madam, what you said, if I did that to you, guess what? I would got blood in my house. The other thing, the thing what you told the person, you told the police them say, me use and chop you? Miss, the police them got it. Them don't even a test on it, madam. There's no blood on it.
Okay.
The reason why they said to me that I have to come back, miss, they let me on bail, because the way how she said all these things, yeah, they want to see if I'm going to fuck with her again.
Right.
No,
so you have you been charged with anything?
Miss, this girl go to them and told them that try to chop off her head. Madam, I wouldn't chop off a woman's head.
Well, if you did that, you'd be up on a murder charge, wouldn't you? If you chopped off a woman's head.
I grew up as a young priest, yeah? I spent 10.5 years in this country, military. Yeah? I got one to go fishy next door to me. Yeah? So, madam, you can go now and split in here so the man call the council.
Okay.
To show you how sensitive is this brother. Come round here and ask all of my neighbor them if them ever hear no rule line on the house yet. My friend, I know you know, me paint your house, you know.
Yeah.
Style out your house, you know. But you see, to you claim nobody never do nothing for you yet. Every time you get me a job, you know, me block you out tight, you know.
Who are you talking to about?
Talking about the girl, Becky.
Oh, okay. It's just true you said you. I thought you were talking about me. I thought, okay.
No, Miss Man. You know, see me I come on Brixton already and me see you.
Is it?
Yeah, I do your thing and me stand up here and support you still. You understand? Jane.
But bro, you never answered my question. Like, have you been charged with anything? Because that's the most important thing, isn't it? I know police are involved, but have you been charged?
They said to me, that I've been charged for GBH, yeah?
Okay, all right.
This is the thing, something like that, yeah? This is the thing. What she's saying is no evidence to it.
But one thing with you know the law. You said that you said you serve in the army, the British Army or the Jamaican Army. I can hear a Jamaican accent. British Army. Right. So if you're a serving veteran or an ex-veteran, you will know the British law, and the British law is the CPS are not going to take up a case unless there's sufficient evidence. So what evidence are you saying isn't there for them to feel that there is enough to charge you? You get me?
Look, what they come to my house, they said to me is an allegation being made, yeah? The thing that you said I use on cut you, the thing is blunt. They pick it up out my house, it's blunt. Never been sharpened. Yeah? My mom used to work for a fishing place. She brought home some knife. When I just moved around here, she said to me I could come and get two. That's why that machete never been sharpened.
Right. I get you.
Okay? And then do them this. There is nothing on it.
That's interesting. So what have they used to charge you? What's the evidence they're using to charge you?
Yes, this girl, she go and she told them a bag of stuff. To be honest to you, yeah, I'm meant to meet my lawyer tomorrow. Yeah, because I was looking to come on your show tomorrow online as well.
Please do. We invite everybody on to have their say. That's great.
Look here, I want to come panic by the end of the day if you're gonna slander.
Oh, sorry guys, that's my fault.
If you're gonna slander me, my friend, come on. You're not right in your head.
The girl you're talking, yeah?
Yeah, you're not right in your head and you're a fucked up woman.
All right, but when you come on, you know you're not able to abuse her. That's not going to happen. There's going to be a measured conversation, my brother. You do realize that. And the other thing I must point out, my brother, we're not going to take kindly to you talking about threats with your sisters coming for me and all this kind of madness. I don't understand.
No, sister, you have to tell you something. You know the amount of people call me.
I know, but you can't do those things because what you need to understand, brother, is that...
One second now, me not say, all right, fine, you're right with that. But you know what? If before me find out it was your page, me say my name there on a rape thing, Rasta. See? When me hear that, my head just fly out of control straight away. Me not like you. I told you I'll pick me up. I hate why pick me.
But you know what, brother? You're on a charge right now, and you don't need no more heat with us reporting that because we do report all of that straight to the police. I don't take their threats or threats of violence easily because I've called out. Let me done, please. Let me done. Bro, let me done. If you know my thing, you will know that I've called out some very dangerous men, and we get death threats all the time. We get threats of violence all the time. So any little thing like that, it goes straight over to the police as far as we're concerned. Do you get what I'm saying?
No problem.
So if you're saying that's not your intention, but you don't need that kind of heat, man, because you're already up with police at the moment. So if you're saying that was not your intention and that you were, you lost your head for a minute, I'd like you to retract that so we don't send it to the police, my brother, because that ain't cool. When a woman is trying to do their thing, you can't be just threatening them all the time.
When a man is wrong, I'll take my wrong. Sorry about that. Alright? But I heard that my name was on the
Sure. It's a shock. Yeah.
Right.
I understand.
can give a green light on a black man, serious. Because anyway, me catch a rape, it's a rape. Me a run you down, even if I need a motherfucker run go. And because this everywhere, anywhere me go, who wants to be an informer, say me an informer.
Good, I'm glad you got that about rape. But when it comes on to hitting women, we got enough brothers that would fall for that. But at the same time,
caught up in something like that, madam. It creases me.
yeah, me understand. All right, I get that. And a man will ride for that rape and anything like that, paedophilia, I get it. But certain men, and I'm not necessarily saying you at the moment, but certain men will ride for all of that and they'll still go home and beat up their wife. So, you know, this is something we need to get to the bottom of, because we've got a lot of men riding for certain things and their home ain't in order, my brother. It's not.
Okay, cool. No problem.
You understand what I'm saying, innit?
Can I say something to you?
Sure.
Have you asked her about her past with her baby dad them?
She's told me. She's volunteered that to me, yeah. I did ask her about that, actually.
Okay.
She's been through quite a lot.
All good with them, yeah?
Sorry?
It was all good with them, yeah?
She spoke to me about that, and I'm not going to say what she told me. You'll probably hear that on the live anyway. But yeah, she did speak to me about it, and she was very open about it. Yeah.
Well, hear me, I said, yeah? I know you're for the time. You do you them, you can't do you. No one do nothing for you. Fine, no problem. Yeah? You start disrespect me, you them, you draw it from side of you. You mean? Miss, I'll say something to you. If you got your man, you look at your man and say to your man, say, oh, why? You know what I'm saying? I want a man, look, I'm not the guy to dress up in jacket, suit, and go to no dinner.
Okay.
Because I'm a good cook myself, and I'm going to pay for something that even cook good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't go out.
I know that mindset. Yeah, go ahead.
Restaurant good to me, go they go spend my money.
Okay, that's a very Jamaican thing. I get it because my parents are Jamaican, so I do get it.
This girl said to me now, miss. This girl don't say to me, say, if she can have two man, right? There's something in a yard.
Okay.
All right,
but you see all of that background, my brother, it doesn't really get to the heart of the matter. The heart of the matter is an assault on a woman, isn't it? That's what we're interested in. You see, right, so that's good. Because you see, when it comes on to the whole relationship side of things, we don't get involved in that. That's man and woman story. You understand?
No problem.
We get involved with the violation. That's what we get involved. You should know that. You said you've looked at what we do and stuff. You know, we don't get involved in the passer of people's relationships. There's always going to be a back and forth with that. A lie?
It's that.
Well, but listen, bro, I'm about to jump into a meeting online.
Just 1 minute.
Now, listen, I'm going to call you back if you're going to be up. My meeting shouldn't last more than an hour or so.
No problem.
Can I do that if you're going to be up?
No problem.
All right, then. Thank you. So I called him back the day after, guys. Hello? Hello? Oh, hi, is that Amen?
Yeah, madam.
Hey, y'all. I'm so sorry I didn't call you back yesterday, Amen. It's I was in meetings till late. It went on for a lot longer than an hour. I just went to work today, so I've only just come back and been able to settle. You get me? But listen, you said you're gonna jump on the live, right?
Yeah. I had something to say about that.
Sure.
I want to give my say, but really, truly, my lawyer advised me this morning not to go on it because really, truly, you yourself should not pick up the case because it's an open case.
I don't want to hear about that. We've already explained all of that when it comes from our standpoint, but I fully understand why you wouldn't want to do that. That's okay. That's up to you. But we will still be presenting what we're presenting, okay?
Okay, madam, can I just say one thing?
Sure.
All I'm saying to you is, if you want, when this thing is finished,
sure,
I would want to come and play my name. Everybody should have.
Well, look, you're going to get a chance to clear your...
I won't even give you money.
No, we don't do this for money at all.
No, me just say street. Me just come up street. So anyway, me just charge.
All right, but at the end of the day, you did say that you've been charged. If you've been charged, there's going to be some kind of trial, no doubt, right?
Yeah.
Right. So there's going to be a trial, in which case you get to clear your name there, if your name is clearable, right?
So, hold on. So if I say my name at the trial, yeah, what you saying to me then, basically?
No, I'm saying if there's a trial, like if you are found not guilty at this trial, you're very welcome to come and approach us and tell your side of the story. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. You're very welcome to do that. But at the moment, you know, you're on trial. I do have questions. Your solicitor can advise you, but it doesn't mean that you have to necessarily abide by that, but it's just advice, isn't it? So if you want to take the advice, it's up to you. Yeah. So we have to listen to what me up here for you. Yeah, I understand that. Of course. Yeah, you have to listen to that. That's fine. But I do have questions because you know, you were saying that they charged you, but there's no evidence of this attack. But I'm finding it hard to get my head around, brother. How are they going to charge you with no evidence? You get what I'm saying? This is what I find a bit hard to get my head around.
Yes, to be honest, I can't tell you why you said they put you on there. I can't really explain that to you. Yeah, but I understand why.
No, but you've been put on bail because, but you have been charged and await. If you've been charged, you're awaiting a trial if you're pleading not guilty, isn't it? Yes. Hello. Yeah. So if you've been charged, you're awaiting trial, aren't you? No.
They said I should come back for my bail. That's what they said to me, and that's what I let out.
So you don't have a trial date or anything like that?
No, man.
Okay. But if they've charged you, when did they charge you? Because if they've charged you, my brother, remember I work in the criminal justice system, so I know how everything goes. If they've charged you, then you should be getting a trial date pretty soon, or at least you should have entered a plea already. So if you've been charged, you're gonna go to court. You know what I mean? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you're saying you're not aware of any trial date?
I think I'm gonna get in the letter, mother.
Oh. Well, anyway, bro, listen. When you're ready, telephone me and we'll chop it up, okay? But I do have to go at the moment. I've got to prepare for the live later. There's other things that I'm going to be talking about as well, all right?
No problem.
All right, then. Come on, bye-bye. Sis, I have a bag of questions out of that conversation. I really, really do.
And which unemployed person is paying for lawyer? Legal aid. He does not have no money to pay no loan. Yeah. And which lawyer is going to represent? He's got 6 charges. He's got messages of him apologizing for the...
I've seen the charge sheets. I've got them. I don't think I need to show them. If I have to, I will. But
he is such a bad liar.
Yeah, I've definitely seen the court papers, haven't I?
And he's saying he don't know. So when he come back for his...
This is the bit I'm really struggling with, because if you've been charged, how do you not know that
Can't you see the narcissism? It's just being a narcissist.
Well, I can actually, because let me just show the messages that he sent to me to begin with, and then we've got the phone call. And now let's look at the messages that preceded the phone call. Right, number 1. So this is him here. He says, "Look, sister, you have something all wrong. I am telling you, before the women in my family," I hope I've got this in the right order, "before the women in my family see you, yes, we know you. I did support you, but running with one side thing and putting me pick up with MT name, I think that's supposed to be my name, thanks, but people want problem, okay, here it is to them, it and you as well, me plus family out looking for you, just to let you know, if not, when we meet, just know that they are not going to talk, just takes this opportunity anyway, you want okay here." I think he could be dyslexic because it's really hard to understand. But hold on, where's the rest of it? And then he goes on to say, and Friday, that the only thing I asked, there is two sides, everything. I have had advice. Okay, so this is not the one I wanted. Okay, it's all in crazy orders at the moment, people. Let's see this. So he says something about in my number, if you want to hear the next side, he leaves his number. It's up to you. So I called him at that point. I didn't call him on the number, called him there. Or he called me, actually. Yeah, he called me. And then I called the number. Death Before Dishonor, she have in the dark, and thanks you lots very much as well. Laugh out loud.
So illiterate.
Mm-hmm.
So illiterate. You can just
So then he
type.
goes on to say, I have had advice not to engage. I will reach out to Viv Amun for more advice. Thank you very much. And I say, Viv Amun, who your cousin Gwenton engages with my ex. I've already featured him on my live. Good luck with that. Now, my sister, hey, I had no idea at this point until then. And then we had a conversation, didn't we? That this individual, Gwenton, I can't remember his surname. Is it Slowly?
I don't even know. I just know him as
I'm trying
Gwenton
to remember
because
this hombre's name.
all Ockeve used to do is call out Gwenton's name and say, "Oh, I'm going
Right.
up."
Well, I'm aware of this individual, and I know that he engages with my ex, with the father of my two middle children. We've spoken about him on here, so everybody knows who we're talking about.
Yeah.
Right. But you see what it was for me? It was the underhanded way in which he felt that he could try to intimidate me by mentioning my ex. That's what it was for me. You're barking up the wrong tree, little man. You're barking up the biggest wrong tree of them all. Because I'll tell you one thing. One thing I know about Viv Amun as my ex and somebody that I was with for many, many years, we have two children in their 20s, a boy and a girl, right? One thing I can tell you about that man, he don't like dirt, yeah? And he don't like a waste man, I can tell you that. If you are of no interest to him, yeah, don't think you can come beg par with him to try and buy out your dirty little argument. And he certainly doesn't support perpetrators like yourself, because I got a lot to say about that man, but I can never say that he's put his hand on me, not once.
There you go. That's a real man. That's
I
a
can
man.
say that about the man, and he looks after his children. That's
That's
what I
it.
can say about the man. I've never taken that away from him. So if you think you can go and beg par with a man like Viv Amun, a man like you, your cousin Quentin better advise you differently, because there's only one way that you could have known that, and it would have been through Gwenton. Gwenton, I had no chuck with you before now. I've never really rated you, to be fair, but I had no chuck with you, yeah? But I don't really like the way you're moving. Why are you sussing and trying to get this guy to think that he can call out Viv Amun's name? Don't bring Viv in no mix-up, Gwenton. Let me tell you that, because Viv ain't in no kind of mix-up with anybody. That's for starters. But let's have a look at let's have a little look, because you did tell Gwenton, didn't you, as his cousin? Is Gwenton his older cousin or his
I think he might be a tiny bit older, or maybe the same age, because they're both
somebody that
25.
you guys look up to? Seems to be that, doesn't it?
I think maybe Ockeve or Eamon looks up to him because Gwenton has, his thing going on. He drives and Eamon don't do nothing. So he must do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So you actually DM'd him and you told him about what happened, and I was actually appalled. And I saw this message before this man's feisty little comment and trying to intimidate me with Mr. Viv Amun. Do you know what I mean? I was thinking, Gwenton, but I wasn't really chucking with it. Now, you say to him, unfortunately, I have to tell you that Ockeve is not doing well. Ockeve is Amun, isn't it?
Yeah, Amen. Yeah.
Amen. Sorry,
Yeah.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
But Amen is his Hebrew Israelite name. His real name is Ockeve Owens.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have to tell you that Ockeve is not doing well. He was beating me for a long time and chopped my hand with a machete. I left him, but I just wanted you to know what your cousin was doing to me, because I'm sure he wouldn't tell you none of it. He has a string of violent offences against women, but I only found out through Claire's Law recently. Sorry to hear that. I'm here if you need anything. I mean, the nonchalance. The nonchalance. Tell us what happened after this message, sis, in terms of any conversation with
he did message me. He said that, oh, it looks like EastEnders, when I started sending the screenshots of him going up with the older white lady up north.
EastEnders, really?
Yeah, he said it's like EastEnders. And then I said, look, he could have given me HIV, you know, unprotected sex. You're not getting this. And then he said, what did he say? He said that this is too disturbing to watch. So he said he didn't want to be a part of, like, watch the live. That's what he said to me.
Okay.
How can it be too disturbing to him just to listen to it when I've been through it?
Your head in the sand, you know, and this is the injury that we're talking about, isn't it? The machete wound.
Yeah.
Everybody have a look at that. Let that marinate, because that's a nasty little gash, that is. And I can't even show you the facial injuries. Sister, as I said,
the only reason why my hand is chopped is because I was guarding my face.
Right.
So
that does look like a defensive wound, actually.
This is the thing. But the thing is that he's saying, oh, that, you know, it's not true. So who's doing all of this to me? And why are you replying? Why are you apologizing and trying to fix me up if it's not you doing it to me? And
why would the CPS charge you on 6 counts with no evidence?
Imagine
they can't find a weapon, or if whatever weapon they found, there's no blood on it, and so on and so forth. Why would they charge you with 6 counts of GBH? That's what I want to know. And what I want to know even further, for a man of Gwenton's so-called standing, and certainly a man that rubs shoulders with the likes of Viv Amon, why it is that you would want to trivialize this sister's suffering, knowing and seeing what she's been through, my brother, and why it is you would want to stoke the fire even further and advise your cousin that my ex might be a good person to give him advice on this. This is what I want to know, Gwenton, slowly. Honestly. Mods, team, can you get me a picture of Gwenton slowly, please? I mean, we've got a little thing. I need to put him up because I'm disgusted with you, conduct. And you know, this is what Mega Man was talking about when he was saying, yeah, we'll stand up for whatever we stand up in the community, but will we G-check our brethren? Will we G-check our family members? Well, Gwenton certainly wouldn't. He wasn't a part of the life, but we all know his answer to that question. No, he wouldn't. Because you have an opportunity, brother, to do the right thing. And this is what I'm disgusted with in the space right now. All this hypocrisy and not getting to the heart of the matter. You people are good to take platforms, good to hold your forums or whatever it is that you think that you do, good to write your books, good to do whatever you're doing. But are you really getting to the heart of the matter in the community? No, you bloody well ain't. And here is the sister in your hand, Miggle Gwenton, and all you can say is, well, sorry to hear that. Too much for me. Really? Black man? Really?
What about me? And how could he tell you that I asked to have 2 men? A violent man like that, you think I could stand up in his face and ask him that?
You ain't even got to defend that. I know
that's
you
crazy.
feel like you should because of your honor.
No, it's not a defending thing. It's like, how could I ask him that question with him being so violent? What do you think he would do to me if I asked him if I could have another boyfriend?
And you too were in the Hebrew Israelite thing, weren't you?
No.
Oh, you wasn't? Okay.
No.
Right. Unbelievable. Let's have a little listen to what it is that Gwenton is so nonchalant about, you know? Because it isn't just the chops, you know, this guy's baited himself left, right, and center. And as far as I'm concerned, Ockeve Owens, aka Amen, how dare you? Yeah. What I don't even know what the Hebrew saying is for God forbid. You know what it is in Hebrew. I should find out. How could you? Do you know? It's just
talking priest. I'm a priest. I'm this. I'm that.
And call yourself a priest and to sully the name of the Hebrew Israelites. I met the original Hebrew Israelites back in the 90s. You know, the original impregnable people that took themselves in 1967 out of America and went into Dimona and took Israel by storm and ended up creating a whole community there. Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston used to go to them, you know, people like Left Eye and people like that. And I actually met the foundation men when they came to set up and try to have mission in England, way back in the 90s. Those are the original Hebrews. Those people lived well and they were about their mission. But all you people that came after that, trying to sully the thing because you realize that you can have more than one woman in it, you guys are going to burn in hell. That's what's going to happen to you. And then also, if you really are a Hebrew Israelite, which is about bloodline, you have no business stepping out of that Hebrew Israelite bloodline on top of it. I know the doctrines. I've been through them all. Let's listen to the real Ammon, the real Ockeve Adams, and how it is that he intimidates women. Shall we?
Let me tell you something, yeah? Let me tell you something. I got more than too much ways to send you jail if I see I'm going jail. But it's not going to be like that. I will sort you out tonight. Tonight, I will sort you out. Give you a few days and look in your face and look in your kid's face. Yeah? I will make sure what need to reach there, reach there. Just look in your kid's face and look in your face. Blood, listen, go fuck yourself. Yeah? And call anything you want to ring. I will take that little number off them, and trust me, we will see who they favor better. Go suck your mother. Let me tell you something, yeah? Let me tell you something. I got more than too much ways to send you jail if I see I'm going jail. But it's not going to be like that. I will sort you out tonight. Tonight, I will sort you out. Give you a few days and look in your face and look in your kid's face. Yeah? I'll make sure what need to reach there, reach there. Just look in your kid's face and look in your face. Blood, listen, go fuck yourself. Yeah? And call anything you want to ring. I will take that little number off them, and trust me, we will see who they favor better. Go suck your mother. Let me tell you.
I thought I'd play that twice just for measure because that is a completely different person to who was on the phone to me, calling me miss and all the rest of it. They are always a wolf in sheep's clothing. And there is more, but I didn't get to upload them all, so I'm going to play them from my phone. There's more.
Hey, I'll take the prick, yeah? But hey, what? Just give me a few days. And watch your own self and watch your kids them around you. No problem. The prick will show you what the prick can do. Just make sure I don't get my tool and you see if it blood clot you had no burn down. Without a touch on your road. Without even touching Peckham. And let me tell you how it's going to go. It's going to be your fault of something you plugged in. It's going to be your fault. Why it burned down? Who died in it? That's your business. Blood, listen. Hey, I beg you, please, let me get my tools and I'll give you your share. Ain't nothing more. Keep the £50. I didn't make agreement with you for £50, so keep your £50 and let me do my due. Let me tell you something, by the way. Go suck yourself and go. When you talk with you and your friend, them are your vent, post me tell nothing to you. Eh? Watch your man, back up and, yo, just back up and do your do. See? Because me I say, me I do what me I do.
There's more. I'll play them in a bit. Sis, those are threats to kill to you and your children. He said he was going to burn the house down with you.
That's normal. He threatens me and everybody like that. That is how he does.
And this is what somebody like Gwenton is ignoring. Because you sent him everything, didn't you?
I didn't send him the voice note threats because I don't have his number or anything. But I sent him, some screenshots and some messages,
stuff like that of your
and for context, because it must be that disturbing for him not to want to even, acknowledge this.
Terrible conduct. It's just unacceptable. Those are clear threats to kill. And this man is telling me that there's no evidence.
He's been on top of me with a screwdriver.
With stuff like that, and I'm not playing the half of it because most of that is in police evidence, isn't it? So
Yep.
we're not going to play those bits, but you've got so much. You don't need
But
to give them all of it. You understand the amount that you have. And from what we've heard and from what's in police evidence, they don't even need to find nothing on the knife, my friend. You got enough to get banged up for threats to kill 2 children. That's what you've got enough for, you stupid boy.
such an idiot.
Honestly,
He's such a
honestly,
bad criminal, a bad liar, a bad
honestly.
cheater, a bad everything. He's even a bad speller. When he's there cheating with all these women, he can
This is
barely
what I
spell
don't like.
right.
You see, when you're going to come and you come as a bad man, come as a bad man to men and not women.
Exactly.
Certainly
He
don't
could
come as a don.
never, he
Don't
could
do that.
never,
It's the
ever chat
worst
to
thing ever.
my.
I
I'm embarrassed to
experienced it
tell my
myself.
friends.
On top of all the nasty violence and whatever you want to come and bring to me, you can't even read and write.
He
That
can't.
makes it worse for me.
You
And I'm
know,
not
you
saying
know,
like people who can't read and write very
young.
well, not having a go at
There was
people
a
that have those problems, sis. I've got to make it clear. But what I don't like is people that can't read and write on top of all of the nastiness that they perpetrate on other human beings.
he
That's
punched
what's
me in my
making me
face because I
skillful.
told him my dyslexic.
Cut out again, sis. I'm absolutely disgusted. Try join us back, sis. Cut out again. Absolutely disgusted. And I'm disgusted that yet again what we see is so-called community personalities, community leaders, these people that go on like they're for the community, that go on like they're about black women and about this and about that, and they have no interest in trying to safeguard our sisters whatsoever. And then they have a go at me because I want to shine a light on it. This is what pisses me off most of the time. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Let's hear a little bit more while sister's coming back on. Okay, sister's here.
Yeah.
Sis, we have to commend you for your strength, my sister. We really
No,
do.
I couldn't. I really had to just wake up one day and say, Is this what I really want?" Because you know, me and him was gonna marry. He was planning everything, and he was literally doing the most behind my back and abusing me. He maybe that's the way his family stay. Maybe his dad guans like that. I wouldn't know, but I just thought to myself, I gotta put an end to this with me.
Yep.
I really don't know how we can clear his name. You can't clear your name if you're messaging me saying sorry.
Sis, let's just listen to what he thinks of black women, African women, because he's
Oh no,
clearly.
he hates Africans. He said he could never ever, but yet you're sleeping with the whole of the white community. He sleeps with
Let me
Africans.
just play it, sis. I need to play this one because I'm so disgusted by this as well.
Ignorant.
Africa.
Hold on.
My friend, listen, I didn't go and fuck some little tough mama clad African. You understand? That I can't stand up no way with. My friend, listen, I refuse African women. I refuse them.
Listen here.
And
Some
he's maroon, you
some
know.
tough
This is a
African
maroon
woman that
boy.
I can't stand up nowhere with.
This
Really?
idiot Jamaican boy is maroon, sis. He is maroon.
Wow.
How? This is what I'm saying. The ignorancy
It's
is
all right
too
because
much.
us African blood women no want you. That's
Exactly.
horrible. What a
Huh.
horrible. And not only that, look at him. Well, you look pretty coolly and mixed race to me, Ockeve. This
Oh
one I don't
yeah.
understand. It's always them big nose, big lip, dark skinned that hate themselves that want to be carrying on with this kind of foolishness. We're not having it. I'm sick of
Yeah.
the narrative.
Oh
I
my
really,
gosh,
really
I
am.
know. Well,
Look
I
how he's
just don't
fucking
understand what he has.
like. And he
Even if
wants to
he
talk
was the
about
ugliest
African
man
men
on
with
earth,
your
he
African
doesn't even
features.
he doesn't even have education
Dare
to call
you?
education, let alone act like he's the best thing since sliced bread. He ain't got nothing for no one.
Wow. It's the same thing with Rare Talks, you know. I saw a clip of him. Some people send me all these clips of him now. I'm like, oh, I can't even take the sound of his voice. He's just gross. But he's basically jumped on this week defending these white ladies because they've been sexually abused by some dude, some mixed racy kind of guy. And he's trying to defend it. And somebody did say in the caption, what about all the black women that you're calling liars and whatever else? You see how these brothers are rolling? It's just
Imagine. Oh,
shameless.
he's
I don't
dirty.
understand it.
That guy's an idiot. This is the thing, is he's Eamon, him, they're all the same. No, but all the women are wrong. We're all demons, we're all liars. Why do I need to lie on a dirty piece of boy like him?
Good
it's
for
not
you.
like he's got anything, so I could, I could sell my story. I ain't getting a penny from this. He is crusty, and all he wants to talk about is, oh, my baby mom's a doctor, or oh, this my other baby mom's a dentist. And what are you though? What are you?
What are you saying? That's what my teacher Khalid Muhammad used to say. Khalid Muhammad used to say, yeah, Dr. Martin Luther King said, you went with this one said, that one said. What are you saying? That's what he used to say. What are you
Exactly. What
saying?
is he saying? All when I
Yeah.
mean Eamon's got the biggest mouth, you would think that this man is paying my mortgage. You would think the way that he'll put his hand on
Yes,
me,
it's
you
like
think
you
that
sound
he's
like such a lovely girl. Yeah, and I'm gonna say it to you.
sis. I
Stay
try.
away from these yardie manners, young girls. That's what you guys need to do. And I'm gonna
I'm
say,
I'm just
I
I'm
said it
staying
to
away
you
from men
off
in general,
camera.
sis.
I'm saying it to you on camera, my sister. Keep away from these whatless man
What
them in
men?
general, but particularly whatless yardie man. Because no,
What?
I make a
Yeah.
differentiation between Jamaican men and yardie men. Because there are lovely Jamaican men out there, but yardie, which is what he is, are just
Ugh.
disgraceful, and they have no place with us. They really
Everything is bumper clock, pussy clock, suck your mother.
What's your mother?
Like,
What the hell is that to tell
you need
people?
to go to school. You need to learn to spell, because I think those are the only words he can spell properly. The
Well,
boy spells
judging
wood.
from his
The boy
DM,
spells hood in as wood. Wood is hood. He's nah.
how
The boy's an
did
idiot.
he
He's a
make
bum.
it into the British Army if he was semi-literate? That's what I
He
don't.
yeah, he's good with gun. He knows how to bust gun good. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
well, I don't
That's
think
what
that the
it is.
English soldiers are allowed in unless they pass some sort of test. So I don't know.
Well, he must have scraped it. He must have scraped it.
It's very low. They just want killing machines. Then I thought had a little bit of
Well,
intelligence.
remember that was the Tony Blair times, the Iraq time. That's how he got in, because they were begging war. That's what it is. But
Mm-mm.
now, it's just a
So
washed up.
you were at a time when you were vulnerable. You had been
Vulnerable.
through rocky relationships. He tried to allude to that. Not that it's relevant.
Yep. Yep.
But they always kept you at the lowest ebb that you could possibly be. Otherwise, you wouldn't entertain him, would you?
I wouldn't have pissed on him. And even when he took my number, it wasn't in on that kind of level. Because when I walked past, I was walking a dog, and he said, "Oh, is that your boyfriend's dog?" This me, what? I don't have no boyfriend. He said, "Don't bite me." And I said, "No, but
Great
I don't have a
talent,
boyfriend."
man.
And then, yeah, exactly. But what one thing about Eamon, he ain't got no standards, and he pretends like he does.
Gone again. You guys kill me, These comments are crazy. He sounds and looks like he lives in a yard with a sour and dirty looking mop bucket. Oh, you guys give me joy. I'm sorry. Honestly. For real. It's only so Rare Talks definitely has a sour looking mop bucket in his yard. Oh my god, them man, they're grimy. Not even crubbing teeth. Honestly, I'm gonna put the link up. Sis, we can't hear you. Try and jump back in, sis. If you can. That one's
Yeah,
sweet. Oh, we got you back, sis. We haven't got you back. She'll be back. Honestly, you guys are nutters. Let's have a look at the comments for a bit. Here we go. Hey, sis. I'm going to put out the link because what I want tonight from This Time Is Up family, from the sisters, I really want, and even some brothers, if you want to jump on and give this young sister here some good advice, relationship advice, what to look out for next time, the red flags. Let's have a discussion about it, because there's so many young girls getting caught up in the next generation that, perhaps, I don't know, whether through naivety. Sis, what made you really, I mean, what caused the vulnerabilities, if you don't mind me
it's
asking?
because I had a very short relationship with my last baby father, and he literally just does nothing for my child. That's what it is. And I've done everything by myself. I'm not one to go, oh, because I'm not with one, I gotta be with someone. No, I will
Sure,
kick back. I
sure.
will chill. And that's why he caught me, because I was single for what, nearly 2 years. And then he caught me off guard. And then I was even saying to my best friend, "Oh, I'm not sure," because of course you're not going to be sure, because if you're keeping yourself to yourself, then you're going to be scared and weary. So he got into my psyche, and he made it seem like he was so lovely, cooking for me, doing everything that you're needing, and being nice. But no, he was a wolf in sheep sheep's clothing. He's dirty. He's violent. He's a tramp. And I don't know how many pickney he has. He tried to say that he had business. He tries to pretend like he's got this, that, and the other. The only thing that he's got is the lean of clocks on his foot.
Sis, you're not easy. You remind me of how I used to trace what this baby father. I just couldn't take him after a while. The business, the violence, like you got the cheek with yourself, your outer door self, with not a pot to piss in.
Imagine you just see him with a night backpack on his back.
That used to enrage me, and I would curse it like a dog.
Exactly, and he will listen. The way that he cusses girls and everybody, it's like he's got the world at his feet. You know, he's in Jamaica for his granddad's funeral. He was having sex in Jamaica. He had the cheek to bring back condoms from Jamaica.
Okay.
He knows to use condoms in Jamaica.
Enough said about all that nastiness. I can't even deal with it.
Yeah,
Brother Malik, blessed love, my brother. Salam alaikum. Brother Malik. You're on mute, bro. You have to unmute. Unmute the mic, brother. Brother Malik. Bro, unmute your mic. Brother, you're on mute. You're probably talking away and not listening. Bro, you're muted up, brother. Can you unmute for me? Maybe you'll get it in a minute. I don't know. I don't know, sis. Let's just carry on talking. Bro. Oh, he's gone. Maybe he's got some connectivity problems as well. Maybe that's what it is. Let's see if he jumps back on. Jump back on, brother Malik. You were on mute. We couldn't hear you. You were there, but your thing was on mute. So you probably thought that you had a connectivity problem. Jump back on for us, brother. All right. Here we go. Yes, sis, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm here.
Wonderful. Well, sis, what was it about him in the first instance? Because he just, I mean, you know, and you're a beautiful sister, man. You really are.
Thank you, sis. Well, I think it's just really charm. He does have charm, and I think it's really just him being there for me and just being up in my face all the time. You know, when someone's up in your face,
you've just had a baby, you've been abandoned. I haven't gone through it. Well, I have kind of with Viv Amon, because he decided he wanted to run off with a woman that posed as his secretary and used to come for my shows and whatever. And you know, I weren't having it. So not even run off, have an affair. And yeah, so that's what happened. So I kind of understand that level. And then you're left on your own. I didn't get involved with anyone, but I do understand the isolation that you feel at that moment when you've just had a baby and you've been abandoned. You know, it will be quite easy for some slick talking dude to slip in the middle of that. I can see that when I was in my younger days, going for a similar thing with baby Afua, you know?
Yeah.
Sorry, not baby Afua, sorry. After my middle daughter was when we broke up. So got T coming on. Blessed love T. Come back in, brother Malik.
Hey everyone, good evening.
Good evening, sis.
Yeah, sis, I just wanted to encourage you to love yourself, you know. I don't mean it in a disrespectful way, but there seems to be a lot of flags that were very, very red, you know, from quite early on. Yeah. Yeah, and it's not a judgment thing. I think a lot of us have been there. A lot of us has let our standard down. A lot of us have put ourselves in these positions. But I really do hope that you heal and find that kind of love for yourself. Do you know what I mean? So I just wanted to come and say that. No judgment, but
No, I'm not offended. I understand, and I do feel that I wasn't loving myself, and I need to, you know, go with that kind of.
Someone's got a quiet line. I think it might be you, T, or you've got the line up. Turn the line down and mute up for me, because it will give a feedback. Yeah, go ahead, sis.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, sis.
Yeah. So
And blessed for
I
that.
think it's Brother Malik that
That's
has
a beautiful kind of sister moment right there, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna head off and pick up yourself
Thank
after I've been following your
you.
thing for a long time.
Thank you. Thank you,
Okay, I'm gonna
sis.
head off. Take care, sis. Bye.
No, blessed love. Brother Malik, what you saying? Unmute for me, my brother. Hey, bro. Unmute for us, bro. Brother Malik? I can't unmute you until you unmute yourself at this end. Oh, mate. Brother Malik. All right. I don't think that's working. Sis, that was a nice piece of advice. Anybody else who wants to jump on and talk to sister while Brother Malik figures it out? I'm not sure what's happening with his connection at the moment. Sis, you there? Or am I alone?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No, I'm here.
So you were saying, but was there any kind of redeeming qualities? Because there is sometimes, isn't it? Especially with Jamaican men, they can cook. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he cooks. He's helpful, because I've got my businesses. He was there, like alongside me. Anything that I need to do with my business, he'll help build it up. Meaning he'll just
Right.
be my partner. Just if I've got a job, then he's coming with me. He made a lot of money off of me, but I never made no money off of him. That's one thing. But I can't lie, he's like walking money. He can do everything. But the only problem that he's got is that he's greedy and he wants all the money in the world and he wants to love scam and boops women and cheat and just be a don. But he's not a don, he's a donkey.
I love that. He's not a donkey.
He's not.
He's a donkey.
Like you live in a pokey little studio flat and you go, how much pick me? You pack them up like sardines. You're not living right. Stop having children. Calm yourself down. Focus on your youths that you have already. Stop chasing women and stop sleeping with people unprotected. Like you don't care about all these children you're bringing into this world because you can't mind. How can you stretch £100 with 9 children if that's really the case? Because it sounds like he's got 10 kids now. So to be honest with you, the math ain't mathing.
Miss
No.
Bonzi, blessed love, sis.
Hey. Yeah, good evening all. I just kind of wanted to echo what T said really about obviously self-love, but more importantly, just really being careful who you're having around your children. I think it's fundamentally important that obviously if you're getting into a relationship outside of your children's father, you've got to be so careful who you're bringing into their life. I know you obviously mentioned there was violence in front of the kids. But also just shockingly enough that you obviously allowed him to then take your children to school. And I just, obviously no judgment. I understand that you was in that situation and you did what you could do at that time. But obviously there's a lot of lessons to be learnt there just to make sure that your children are around honourable people. And just to really do your due diligence before men are even meeting your children. There should be a long period of dating and getting to know somebody before they're introduced into your children's lives.
That's
But just want to
superb.
wish you love, light, and lots of self-love, lots of healing, no judgment, and all the best for the future, my darling.
Oh, thank you so much, Miss Bonzi. That's beautiful. Thank you, sis.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Malik, are you with us now? Unmute for
Yes,
us, bro.
yes, I am. Can you hear me, sister?
Yes, let's hear from a brother. Yeah.
All right. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. How y'all doing?
I'm good. We're good.
Good. I'm listening to this character, and the only thing that actually comes across my mind is that he needs a prescription.
I know what kind of prescription you mean, Malik.
Three pills and a dirt nap will take care of him. That'll be good.
Oh my gosh.
3 pills, like I said, 3 pills and a dirt nap. After that, he's good.
Can you believe that he's fellow military like you, Malik? Like, really?
You know what? I mean, I'm gonna be honest. You have dirtbags in the military too. But you see, but we know how to take care of those dirtbags too. So they wind up disappearing. I'm serious. They wind up disappearing. I mean, Shit, things happen. Things happen. And you know, people like him just disappear. They could be on a training exercise, and things happen. you know, and all we could do is just report back to the parents and be like, you know what, he was involved in a training accident, and unfortunately, he was a casualty. So, things like that happen. But my
Somebody,
prescription.
simple Simon, says, "What's Malik's background?" I don't think he saw you on the last live. Do you care to explain that, my brother? And
Oh
sister
yeah,
might know.
sure. Okay, currently my career is I'm an aerospace engineer. I'm a graduate of Georgia Tech, Georgia Institute of Technology in Georgia, and I'm proud military. Um, I really don't like to go out and tell people my business, but um, I was in the you could say I was in the top 1% of the U.S. military. I was in the Navy, so yeah, I did some special stuff, and that's I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't like to expound too much on my background, but I'll put it to you like this: I've seen a lot and have done a lot. Just like some of my other counterparts in my circle.
And
We serve
you're
together.
an aerospace engineer now, aren't you?
Yes, I
brother?
meant right. My career now is I'm an aerospace engineer. Correct. And I'm a graduate of Georgia Institute of Technology, better known as Georgia Tech. So
good uni.
Yeah.
Or what we would call a uni.
Yes.
So what advice have you got for the sister? Because we know the scumbag that we're talking about, and he is a scumbag.
I mean,
I'm gonna say
my advice is three. My advice.
Before you go on, bro, because I know we got feedback. You're calling in from Georgia. This brother here, you came on the phone and you lied to me, brother. That's what you did. You lied to me because we don't believe your story. It doesn't add up. You cannot know that you haven't got a charge. You cannot tell me that you don't know whether or not you've been charged or if there's a court case or any of it. When you have 6 charges, I've seen your charges, bro. They're GBH. They're quite serious. There's no way the British CPS, especially with a black on black crime such as this, a domestic violence crime such as this, is going to go with nothing. You understand? They've got something to be charging you 6 times. That's the first thing. So you're a liar, as far as I'm concerned. I have got a picture of Gwenton here, the brother that says he's upstanding. I mean, look at that picture. How grandiose is that? It actually looks like a bit, them kind of Arthur Daly type characters, that stance. I never like guys that do that. It's like, hey, me, those get rich type pictures. I'm disgusted at you, Gwenton. You should be doing better, and you should be holding your cousin accountable. What do you say to that, Malik, before you advise the sister? Because I'm vexed at the moment.
I mean, like I said, it's a quick remedy to that. To be honest with you, I don't see. I don't see any type of. You can't be diplomatic with this guy. You can't.
Well, this is it, and what we've seen from his cousin, who appears to be the wiser one, at least, and certainly the more intelligent one, because Gwenton is no fool. Should be doing better. I mean, you don't have to be loud about it. You just need to go and collect up man like Vivamun, if that is it. Seeing as you want to mention my baby father's name, seeing as you want to do that, gather up these brothers. These brothers say they're upstanding brothers. Go to them and keep this brother in check. He's hurting black women out here. It's not right.
Apparently he's saying that he's not doing anything. He's not putting his hands on no girl.
Well, that's probably what he's telling Gwenton. Because I don't know what his plea is going to be.
No, he didn't. He actually told Gwenton that the reason why he was acting that way and doing what he was doing was because he was jealous that I had male friends and he was thinking that I was cheating. That's what he said.
Even worse that he admitted it. Let's have a look, actually. This is some WhatsApp messages between you and him. Yeah, can everybody see that? I can't see it. My eyes are terrible. I have to make it big. But you can see there. Yeah. So he says, you really did, yeah? And you say, you knew I called them, meaning the police yesterday. but I'm not making a statement, so you will get arrested. So you will get arrested, and you just got to go. No comment. So you're still trying to help him at this point, as a lot of women do.
Yeah, that was months before. That was
As
before I was
right,
with
okay,
her.
so that was okay, right.
Yeah,
He
that was
says,
before.
baby, please don't stop. I don't need this right now. Please, I'm not going to get you done. I don't want to press charges. He says, yeah. So why then? Meaning, call the police. You want to get me done? Yes. I won't, Ahmed. The same way you kept putting your hands on me, in the same way I had enough and I called them. So you're kind of trying to justify. This is classic victim perpetrator type of stuff. You know, no one's judging you for that, sis. We understand how that goes, right? And he goes
Yeah.
on. Let's get to it. He goes on to apologize for the incident now, doesn't he? We've got that there, where you say to him, what the hell? You know, you decided to mash up my face. He says, baby, I am seriously sorry. You say you literally are just a bad person. Don't come near me. If you know what you want to take me for a punching bag, it's not right and it's not fair, and you're stealing the happiness from my children. I still have to be their mum, even if you hit me, but you're not allowing me. You pretend to care about me and my kids, but this is not care. This is not love. And he says, baby, I'm seriously sorry. And you say, but my face is still mash up. There is no way there that he's even denying it.
But then he's telling you, oh, when I clear my name, how are you
He
gonna
wants
clear
to
your
clear
name?
his name. Exactly.
Unless
This
he's
is
got a
what I don't
twin
understand.
brother. No, he's got a twin brother, sis. He has a twin brother.
These guys, man. These guys. Honestly.
This
When you
guy
say
he sounds like he's bipolar.
something,
He is. He's everything. He's
what he's trying
everything.
to
And he
claim as
claims
his
that he doesn't have
defense.
no problem.
He's trying to claim PTSD as his defense because of the military, brother.
Well,
Sis, you
when
know
he
what?
was
I'm
in
gonna
the
go ahead and say
incident, I
this.
think he was
I'm gonna say this, not to interrupt. And I'm gonna say this as a person who has PTSD. I have
From the
PTSD,
military.
anxiety, and depression. I did 2 tours in Iraq. Okay,
wow, yeah.
I was there from the invasion. So I was there from the invasion, and I was there in several campaigns, including Fallujah. So I was there. I know what PTSD is. Okay, I live with PTSD. I have to take medications because of my PTSD. You know,
Right.
I take 4 forms of medications, 4 types of medications. And I'm gonna tell you this much. A person who has PTSD is gonna do what I do. Either and it's unfortunate that this happens. But these are the few things that happen with people that have PTSD. Number 1, we become suicidal. We want to kill ourselves. Okay, because of the guilt and the stuff that we carry. The things that we've seen, the things that we've done, you know, we want to kill ourselves. Number 2, we become drug addicts and or alcoholics.
That's for
Because
sure.
we use those things to go ahead and escape the nightmares that we have, and you know, we try to numb ourselves.
Yeah.
And as far as becoming abusive, it's very few that become abusive. And even if we do become abusive, I'm not gonna lie to you, we seek help right away. We're not gonna just sit there and just you know, just walk around and be abusive. We're gonna seek
And
help.
telling people to suck their mother. No, we're not going to
Right.
do that.
No, we're not. No, we're not gonna do
That's
that.
his
We're gonna seek.
favorite
We
line.
know we're gonna recognize that we have an issue, and we're gonna be like, nah, we need to stop this now. We're not gonna waste time.
And considering also that the military would pay for it, for your therapy, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I mean, there would. I mean, well, here in the United States, I don't know about. From what I understand, in the UK, they don't. They don't do that. From what I
Well, that
No,
understand.
makes sense,
they
actually.
do give him
Why does
stuff.
that not surprise me?
From what I understand, they don't in the UK. But I know in the US, here in the US, yeah, we get the free prescriptions, and you know, we actually have psychiatrists, and you know, we have a social worker, and all kinds of stuff. We get
There
that
must be
here.
some kind of well-being in place for the military. I'm sure of it.
But I
Honestly.
think, but if I'm not mistaken, though, I think that if you go, I know that there's a Veterans Association over there in the UK as well. from what I understand. And I think that if he would,
Oh
if
yes,
he actually
definitely.
does have, if he does have PTSD, anxiety, and depression, because you can't have one without the other. You're gonna have all three. If he has that, he can go to them, and I know that they can refer him, to get, treatment by the state. I mean, I know it works differently over in the UK
Now in
than
England,
over.
it probably would be that the government or the military sort of offload their responsibility once you're discharged, and then it would be picked up by a charity such as the Veterans Association. That would make sense over here.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. So all he has to do is go to the association and let them know what's going on. And obviously, they're gonna have a psychiatrist to go ahead and evaluate him, do like an independent psychiatric observation, and then after that, then they'll step in and actually, once everything is confirmed, then they'll go ahead and step in and help him out. As far as the charity is concerned.
So
I
you
know
hear
that
that, because I know you're watching, Ockeve. Go and get some help, because you're going to kill somebody one of these days. None of this bravado, we've got suck your mother and whatever, because you're not showing any kind of remorse, my brother. You are guilty as sin. That's what you are right now.
No,
You
he
understand?
can
Like,
do no
we
wrong.
don't need to
He
see
said
no more.
no.
Let the court decide, but there's no way they're going to, there's no way that you are going to be acquitted. That's what it is.
I
You've
mean, if
served
you're abusing,
you served the HMP. Has he been
He
to
said that
prison
he's
before,
gonna do
sis?
black magic. No, he hasn't, but he said he's gonna do black magic.
Oh, he wants to
And
do
and
Obia, the whole Jamaican thing. Yeah,
yeah.
whatever. Do you understand? Sister, you're a praying woman, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Well, there you are. He can't
Back to
trouble you.
sender.
He cannot trouble you. All this Obia talk, this black magic talk. This is always what these yardies resort to. It's a foolishness. It
I
really
mean, but
is.
how do we know that this guy is really prior military? How do you know that?
Even the police said it.
Yeah,
They
he
see
is.
his military history. Yeah, he is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He served. He
they
came from
confirmed it.
Jamaica. Came from Jamaica at the age of how old? 15.
Yeah.
Right, and then served in the British Army over here. Done a
Got you.
touring. He done a touring
So
role.
how did you?
In Allied Forces, brother.
Because I have questions because I mean, sister, how did you wind up with this man? I mean, I would, I'm gonna go ahead and say this before we go any further. When you as especially with our sisters, when you feel really vulnerable, you feel like you're really lonely and what have you, that's when you have to go ahead and dig deep within yourself and say, look, you know what? How I feel is temporary. All this is temporary, because you know what? That kind of energy attracts people like him. They go ahead
Yeah.
because they're looking at you as a victim. You know what I mean? And what you have to do is pretty much isolate yourself. That's the best advice that I can give. Isolate yourself, get yourself into prayer, and focus. And if you have children, which I know in this case you do have children, focus on your children, because you know what? Guys like him will sense vulnerability and don't want to move in right away. And and I understand, as human beings, we crave for that companionship. I get it, but at the same time, we have to get used to being by ourselves. After a while, being by yourself becomes addictive, because you have so much peace. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So much peace. You're in prayer and you take care of your family and what have you. And that vulnerability dissipates, and these predators won't even notice you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there are women that are predators too. It goes both ways. Both men and women are predators. That they want to. They'll catch someone that's vulnerable, that that they sense that's vulnerable, and they'll go ahead and turn around and abuse you, justify it, but then they don't want to get in trouble for it.
There's
So
loads of women around like that. Loads of narcissistic women that
No.
carry on like that.
right, and the majority of them are narcissists. That's true. That's a fact.
Yeah. It's a fact.
So I'm just saying. I just give that as an advice for the sisters that are listening, man. I mean, you know what? Yes, men and women, we need each other, but when we're at a certain point in our lives, we don't need to be with anyone. We need to be by ourselves, and we need to love ourselves first before we go ahead and start loving others.
No, you're
You know
right,
what I
and
mean?
I'm strong enough, and this is where I've got all the strength to do what I had to do, and now I feel exactly that way.
Absolutely.
My
And you know,
eyes are.
there's a wonderful book that it's a fairly old book now, and the author has passed. She's with the ancestors now. Actually, has she passed? I'm not even sure. No, I don't think she has actually. It's written by Ilania Van Zandt, and it's called In the Meantime. You know, and when I discovered it when I
Oh
was in
yeah,
my
that's a good book. I heard about that book. Yeah.
right. I discovered it when I was in my kind of early 20s or whatever. But it's something I always have in my back pocket to give to younger women. You know, even my daughters when they're going through breakups or whatever with boyfriends and what have you. It is such a great book in terms of how you preserve yourself, you look after your own well-being. You know, it's that kind of thing. Why it is that we shouldn't go from one relationship to the other, and that we should spend
Right.
some in the meantime with ourselves. You know,
Wait,
that's what
wait.
it's.
I've got a DM from Gwenton,
Oh, really?
and
Interesting. I know they're all
you
on there.
went
So
on this show. You said you went on this show tonight and to mislead people. Mislead people where? As if I had agreed with what you said. Very dishonest for you to be frank. I sent you the
come
messages.
on and stop the passive aggression, Gwenton, if you've got anything to say,
Why
honestly.
is he getting? Wait, hold on. I sent the screenshots of the conversation, and how the hell can he say that I misled people when you're literally coming to your own conclusion with the messages that you see?
Absolutely. You've not said a word. It's me. Yeah.
What?
And that's what I'm saying. It's very nonchalant. And you're also telling me
Oh,
that
come on.
he said that he
Quentin,
couldn't
stop,
watch
man. He
the
needs to
live.
jump on this.
Well, he said he couldn't watch the
Stop.
live, didn't he? He said that it was all too
Yeah,
much.
why can't you watch the live, Quentin? It's not like Ockeve was busting your face.
But he is watching the live. That's the
What's
point.
the problem?
That's the point,
He's
sis.
incriminating himself. That's all it is. Let him incriminate himself. That's all. You're just
This is the
incriminating
cousin.
yourself, brother. If you're listening,
This
you're
is the cousin.
incriminating yourself.
This is the cousin who's been very nonchalant about sister's
Very
plight.
dishonest. What do I need to be dishonest about, Gwenton? Seriously, stop talking
And then
nonsense
also
now.
to low
Stop.
key be texting the sister as opposed to coming on and talking to the sister, because that's what it
Yeah, why
is.
not?
You
If I'm
know,
so
that
dishonest
is,
and if you feel like I've misled you, come on the live because I'm here.
you know, that gives you even less credibility in my eyes. Like, you lose ratings for that, Gwenton, actually. Why are you texting her low key? Passive aggression.
About I
That's what
went
that
to
Yeah,
is.
church.
that's being very
No, no,
passive aggressive.
Mhm.
don't be
No,
upset with
no,
me,
we don't
Quentin,
really
because
rate
you
that.
did not. You dealt with it the wrong way. I sent you my number and I told you call me if anything because you came with that weak ass. Oh, everyone makes mistakes. This is not the kind of mistakes that a man should be making.
Mm-hmm. And I haven't even shown all of that conversation. I showed one part of it, but it does get worse. I mean, what do you mean everyone makes mistakes?
Mistakes. Even not because you wouldn't want anybody and your sister or mother. Come
You
on,
guys
Quentin.
are not
Do better,
easy.
man.
You
Do
guys are
better.
really not easy.
No, do better. I'm not gonna
His
lie.
time is
No,
up.
no, who's
Viewers ain't
misleading? Like,
normal, you
I'm not
know.
gonna lie. That is boiling my blood.
No, try not to take it that way, sis. Like, for us, we
Jump.
see what's going on here. This is what we're talking about: the justification, the devaluing of your experience, the minimizing of what it is that you're trying to tell this man. It happens across the board in our community. When are they going to own up to it? When are they going to take the bull by the horns, or those that are not involved in that take the bull by the horns and put a stop to it? We can only do so much as Black women. They need to be checked by their peers, right, brother? If your brothers are doing it, that is when it's going to stop, right? Because
Yeah,
otherwise, I've been accused many times of hating Black men, of being a lesbian, of all these derogatory things just because we choose to speak up for ourselves. But when the brothers decide to do it, we saw the impact of that this week with Mega Man posing a very vital question, you know, and we saw how that caught fire.
Yep.
But it's because it was a man in the community. Brother Malik, let's put to you.
yes, it's going to take men to go ahead and it's going to take men to go ahead and put him in check. It's gonna take men to go ahead and check them.
That's right.
Yeah, you
I
didn't
mean, the
G-check and then
sisters
you're
can
upset
only
with
sisters can only say but so much. How much more profound impact is when men is checking his brother. Well, he's not even a brother. I'll be honest, he's not a brother because brothers don't run around and do stuff that he does. You know, he's a predator, and you need other predators. You need lions and tigers to go ahead and leopards to go ahead and put him in check. You know what I mean?
You know what, my brother?
Is it?
We need
Well, but he would tell
another
the
doctor.
people that
We need
it's
another
not
one of our
true.
teachers, Brother Malik. We need another one of our teacher back. We need Dr. Khalid back in the mix and let him deal with these people.
Now you already we're in the midst.
His seed survives, my brother.
We're already here. You see, the problem is that we need a gathering ground, which is something that you already know I'm working on that. So don't worry about it.
Less said, bro. Less said. Gwenton's bright to think that he can come behind the back door and try to intimidate you in any kind of way. What do you mean the sister is misrepresenting you? You're representing
dishonest.
yourself.
How am I dishonest, Gwenton? Dishonest where? You think
You've
that
hardly spoken about him. I'm the one who's spoken about him because I realized, Brenton, that you're a snake in the grass, because there's no way that you should have mentioned to this monster of a cousin of yours who my children's father was. What was that about? What was your motive in doing that? For him to take it back, tell me thinking that was going to have some kind of impact. That's the worst thing you could have done. For me, forget the sister, for me, that is the worst thing you could have done, Gwen. And it showed me that you're a snake. That's what it showed. What do you say about that?
I think everyone needs to just stick to the facts. Gwenton, what you're complaining about is you should be G-checking your cousin, and you're wrong. You're wrong for that.
Not bringing another element into the mix that's going to cause contention. Why would you do that? This is what I don't get, sis.
I'm gonna say it, and I'm on the show right now. If I see a message like that, of course I'm gonna say it out. I'm not gonna keep it to myself. Just like I was keeping all the beatings to myself with this idiot. Where did that get me?
You shared it with the brother. He told you it was too much for him. He told you people make mistakes. How is that misrepresenting? Is he going to deny it? Has he denied it in that text? He hasn't, has he? Well, he has to a point. He's saying that you're being dishonest. So what is the honest version then? What's the honest version? Did he run to your aid? Did he call a meeting?
I come on the show to mislead. Gwenton, it wasn't about you. It's about your cousin. You didn't hit me. It's your cousin. But you're moving like an enabler from when I messaged you all of that. And then you said what your little 2 pence and it if you need me. That's not it's a nice gesture, but it wasn't good enough.
But what it says to me, sis, if you need me, call me. So next time he boxes you, give me a shout. That's what it sounds like to me. That's how I would interpret that.
No, I had enough of that. It happens time and time again. It happens time and time again. How many times do I have to do it before I wake up dead?
Right. Absolutely.
The boy could have. There was times when he's standing over me with a screwdriver in his hand. He's gonna stab me. No.
And this is why we expanded from talking only about paedophiles. Back in the day, we featured a couple of like really serious perpetrators of domestic violence. There's one guy, Mark Mackay, who was an absolute psychopath, a bit like Dylan Duffus. But these things have to be highlighted because it isn't just the children that are suffering sexually. And a lot of the time, I'm not saying it happened with you, sis, but a lot of the time, this type of domestic violence goes hand in hand with sexual assaults.
But this is what I was going to drop in. He's saying he's trying to act like he's not a rapist. If you bust my face open and then you have sex with me within 10 minutes and you force yourself up on me, what is that?
That's rape, man.
Of course it's
rape. I want to have sex with you after when my mouth is dropping and bust open.
Jesus. Well, that's very Jamaican of him.
Exactly. So you're there. So why
people want to get offended? We know that the MO of certain yard man. That's very yardy of him.
This is what I'm saying. That I don't understand how you could even get your dick up after doing that to me. That's how you know you're so unhinged. You're so crazy. And you know he will come around and tell me that I'm crazy because I'm flipping out on all the abuse that he's doing.
And we all react in different ways. You know, some women go into themselves; they become very disconnected. And some women, like yourself, become very fired up over it. I was the same as you, my sister.
I had so many. I had disconnection. I had every single emotion you could think of. I had different ones because this guy would do so much. He's so unhinged, and he acts like he doesn't have anything wrong with him at all.
No, Gwenton has somebody like Gwenton who says that he's a community personality. You know, he does stuff in the community for us and whatever, and you know, power to him for all of that. But you're not moving right, my brother. It starts at home, and you can't be coming and texting the sister and going on like she's the bad guy. Do you see the transference with these people?
Terrible. You're just deflecting on me. Don't do that. Exactly. Don't do that. You should jump on the live like a man, Gwenton, and just say your say.
And also as well,
you deal with it properly. Say it.
For me, sis, he is perpetuating your trauma in this moment.
Exactly.
You're telling your truth and he's sending you these texts. It's disgraceful.
Exactly. It makes me feel worse because if your dirty cousin did not hit me how many times and do all this shit to me, we would not be speaking. I wouldn't have DM'd you because it's not man I'm looking.
He's enabling his cousin. That's what he's doing. He's enabling his cousin to continue doing what he's doing, and that's not right.
Because I bet you know, even through all this, even when we were breaking up and I found out about the cheating and everything, he was still saying, "Oh, you fight." This guy, Eamon, would say, "Oh, you get your guy and you show me. I'll show you my girlfriend. It will be all shiny and bling bling." Trying to like he's in competition with me, the dirty boy. I'm not in competition with you. He is a prostitute. He sleeps with women for money, and he is really, and he acts like he has standards. He sleeps with women unprotected. I really hope so many women know about him now because he's probably been feeding the lines to these women all over.
You know, there are many types of perpetration, you know, whether direct or indirect, you know, advertently or inadvertently. There are many types of perpetration, and this is one of them. This is what people don't seem to understand. You don't have to box down a girl, you know, for it to be perpetration. What Gwenton's doing is inadvertent perpetration, and you need to know that, my brother. You need to check yourself as well as your cousin, because that little move there that you just did is seriously not cool, my brother. It really isn't.
I didn't expect him to
we really need to shine a light on this type of behavior, because you don't understand that with your acts of omission, my brother, you are enabling this man to continue to beat women. And if you say that you're about community, and you say that you're about, you know, your community in the way that you are, you know, you've got to behave better than that, my brother. Who knows better does better. We don't expect anything better from Dottie Ockeve. All right? We understand that. He's a yardie, he's violent. That's what they do.
Violent.
You ought to know better, my brother. You ought to know better. And you ought to not act with that feminine energy of Sussel and go and tell this man, oh, you know, Viv, I'm sure Viv never sanctioned that. As much as me and him have got our beef, I don't give a man what he is not due. I'm sure Viv did not sanction that.
But I'm sure that Ockeve is going there saying the girl is chatting shit. She just wants to get me down. That's all he's saying. He said that about all his baby mums, all these women, even the last baby mum that he broke her hands. He said that, she took him to court and sold him out and all of that. Yeah, but I think it's all a lie. I think that he put his hands on her, and that's why he was in court.
All right, so honestly,
I'm not the first and I'm not the last. I know this. Ockeve will never change.
Jump on. Anyone else who wants to jump on? There's the link again. Yeah, it's not a good look, and it's certainly not a good tactic, as I said, to mention the brother there. And not only that, him can't see everyone. He knows if he talks up too loud with me, especially publicly, yeah, he might. The most they're going to get out of him is she's off her head, and he'll keep it moving. He's not going to draw himself in more into other people's passion. That's one man that don't buy out people's argument, especially if it does not profit him, you know. And he's not going to be non-pleased that Gwenton thought it was a good idea to mention his name in it. He won't be pleased. I know him.
You know, I don't mean to interject again. I apologize. I'm sorry. I really have to get what I have in my mind right now. It has to come out.
My brother, you're up here for.
Look, I'm going to go ahead and say this. You know what? All this degeneracy that's going on stems from a much deeper, a much underlying deeper problem, and it has a lot to do, of course, with racism, white supremacy.
Absolutely.
You know, as far as our people being oppressed and the traumas that we've been through, it's been passed down from generation to generation to generation. And this is something, I mean, not only should we address the fact that our women and children are being abused, but we also need to go ahead and address the fact that, you know what, even as adults, we're being abused too. You know, we're being abused by the greater society, and we've allowed them to go ahead and do that. And we need to go ahead and start not only seeking psychiatric help, but also spiritual help as well. You know, we need to have that spiritual. We need that spiritual therapy and that psychological therapy.
Problem is, my brother, we talk about this all the time about the generational trauma, the fact that we're behaving in this way, and we don't just put it on black men. You know, there is a lot of behaviors coming out of sisters that is unacceptable. Right. And when they get together with these toxic brothers, you know, it becomes a Dylan Duffus and his baby mother.
Right, of course. But that's what I'm saying. I mean, we need to. That's for sure. But that's what I'm saying. I mean, what I'm saying basically is that, you know, this is a call for those that are in the psychiatric field. We need that help, and our brothers and sisters need to go ahead and
stick a pin, my brother. Let me just break it down for you.
Yes, ma'am.
We do not have any viable Black African-centered therapy in this country. That's in America. Now, as we're on the subject of my ex Viv Amon, he was one of the first people, or the first person, as I do believe, to set that up in this country with a guy called Malcolm Phillips. He attempted that, but you know, it went well for a while, but it fell by the wayside, like most things of Black nature or Black specific intervention in this country. So we don't have it. We have Black counselors who work in white organizations or who work with white specific models of counseling or therapy, but we don't have that viable Black African-centered psychotherapeutic intervention in this country. Nobody practices it, except me. I do it in my own way, you know, but I've not come across a practitioner that's on that, apart from people that, you know, of old, and they are more kind of secular in a way now, in that they practice for themselves, and, you know, they're known as kind of African healers and people like that, but no one in the mainstream. As far as I could be wrong, but I haven't come across it. And that's the problem. That is the problem. We're not getting that. When we get referred via our GP for counseling, we're getting, jump back on, sis, we're getting referred to psychodynamic counseling, whatever, cognitive behavioral, whatever it is, and usually administered by, if we can't afford it, you know, it's on the NHS and we can't privately pick our own therapist, it's usually a therapist that doesn't look like us. It doesn't understand our psyche, doesn't understand how to work with us, you know? Eurocentric, absolutely, sweet fantasy. It's totally Eurocentric. There's no Afrocentric counseling here in this country. It doesn't happen.
Well, maybe
building that we never had before. Sorry, my brother.
Yes.
Hey, yes, my sister, original alumni. Don't know, there's a few of us left. Go on, my sister. I love that. I love that. We need to come together and form a service, sis. That's what it is. Go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe you need to go and start that up again.
Yeah. Money's an issue because we don't fund ourselves. We really don't, you know. But I'm going to go on a mission soon to get sponsorship from all the rich people in our community, and I want to hear what they got to say to me because I'm sick of it. What we do is we try to set things up. We get funding from the local government that is setting us up to fail, and it usually lasts for about 2 or 3 years, and then it's gone. That's what happens, and I'm refusing to go for those pots of funding. I could have done it a long time with what we've been doing here. And I've been toying with it, and people have been saying, yeah, do it. And I'm loath to do it, my brother. Having worked in the sector and even managing those contracts in terms of the KPIs and the monitoring and everything that goes down. No, I don't want their money. Not for what we want to do, you know? I don't want it. So we are in a sort of limbo, really, because we do want to roll out services with what we're doing. But it's hard. We ask the community for funding. You know, a little trickles in from the few good people that understand that we have to fund our own, but it's never enough. And that's the issue. If I was doing this in America, this live right here, there'd be thousands already. I've been doing it for 3 years. I probably would have hit 1 million already from the Black American community, for sure. It doesn't happen over here, my brother. Just doesn't. I'm not sure why.
Well, let's see how we can change that, sis. Because you know,
man, that's what it's about, my brother. That's what it's
we're going to go ahead and change that. We're going to change that narrative over there. We will. That's a fact. We need to.
I don't want their funding. I'm not the Gwentons and the Vivamuns of this world. I'm not afraid to say it. You know, one of the things that that my ex Vivamun has about me is that he feels that I could have gone all the way, apparently, and he means in his footsteps, you know, up to the doors of number 10 and whatever. What he doesn't realize is that yes, I could, but I don't want to. I stayed true to the argument. I stayed true to the cause. You didn't.
Right.
But Les said this is not about him. And as I said, Gwenton is bright to come and bring up the man's good name in these things. Bright. You should have dealt with your shit yourself about you're going to set this man up to come tell me he's going to discuss it with Vivamun like some kind of veiled threat. But something happened. You see, this is why I'm actually going on about it. Because it's like the presumptuousness, the audacity and the arrogance of these people is really quite astonishing. Blessed love, sis. We're going to wrap up real soon.
You have to really ask who is Amen? Who is Amen for him to be carrying anyone's name? You're literally an unemployed bum. That's it.
And sisters are allowed to vent. You're allowed to say whatever it is that you feel you need to say to get all of this off.
He is a bum. He's a bum that infiltrated me and so many other women. And he come with the approaches, oh yeah, I got a business. Oh, do you do deliveries? And I'm like, yeah, I've got a car. I can drive. You know, I'll do that. It's all about money.
Sorry, sis. Is your partner, boyfriend, friend, peace Jamaican? English Jamaican, sis. I don't deal with direct Jamaicans. I don't really fancy them, to be fair. That's just me. Yes, sis, go ahead. I'm so sorry.
No, it's just no. I'm just saying that I'm not really. I think I'm done with the venting. I'm not even bitter about it. I feel sorry for him that he can just live such a lie. There's so much deep-rooted mental health, you know, with him, and I don't think that he's ever gonna really face it because it's so bad. You know, he's delusional and he lives in such a bubble of a lie. Because it's like even when I caught him red-handed, he's sending the messages to the woman, and the woman sent me the messages that he's having sex with her unprotected. He's still saying, Becky, I swore on the Torah, I have not slept with anybody.
He swore on the Holy Scriptures. Wow.
Swore on the Torah in front of me, and he made me swear on the Torah. And I have no problem with that because I ain't sleeping with nobody else. So, but he was sleeping unprotected with so many women, and that's why he had thrush for how many months. And that's why I didn't get it, because it was his dirty self having sex with people.
All right. Let's keep it. Let's rein it in a little bit, sis. We don't need to know all of that. But I hear you. Like I said to him, like too much of the back and forth relationship side of things. We don't really get into that.
He was just saying it to say it. He just says, "Oh, you're cheating. You're doing this. You do." No, ever had the evidence. I used to get licked for nothing. He would just think things, and then he will start a fight with me.
Yeah. Sis, when is the case coming up? This case that he seems to have no knowledge
in a
of.
year's time. That's in a year's time.
Isn't that disgusting? They've put this violent psychopath out on the road, given him bail for whatever reason, and set the case for him now. Wow. This is what I'm saying, brother. This is why we do what we do, because the police and the authorities and the criminal justice system, the judiciary across the board, do not safeguard black women. They don't safeguard women, full stop, to be fair, but even less when it comes to black women. And it's just not good enough. If you were a white woman, there's no way they would have this dangerous man out on the road like that on 6 charges of GBH.
Because I was about to say, because you know what, it's the same thing here in the US. But you know what? I'll be honest with you. Here in the US, they'll protect a white woman a lot faster than they'll protect the sister. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And it's okay. And you know what I say to that? I'm like, it's okay, because it's our responsibility as black men to go ahead and protect our women anyway. So I'm like, you know what? We already know that we're behind enemy lines. We already know that we're behind enemy lines, and only us can take care of us. And in the case over there with this, with our sister that's in this predicament, I mean, the best that I can say is, put a restraint. Is there any way you can put a restraining order against him while he's out on bail?
Yeah, we call it a non-molestation order over here. I think someone just mentioned it, actually. Well, part of his bail condition.
I'd go ahead and do that.
Part of his bail conditions, brother, will be that he can't go near her. But I don't have much faith in those bail conditions, because if somebody's crazy enough, like a Dylan Duffus, they won't care about the bail conditions. They really won't.
Yeah, that's true.
I've had more intel come up about this guy. I mean, it just keeps pouring in when it comes on to Dylan Duffus. My goodness. He needs to calm himself down. Him and that ratchet baby mother of his, they really do.
Oh my God.
They really do. Because if it carries on what they get on with, we're just going to have to really, really escalate it when it comes on to the Duffuses. At Dylan's end of the Duffuses, that is. We're really going to have to escalate it and start talking to the authorities and I'm talking social services and different people in safeguarding teams and whatever in Birmingham.
Right.
Make sure that we shut those people down, because it's like, audience pity when them get a beating and them still won't stop. It's like that. My God. I actually think they're both disturbed. Just to jump on a different subject, my sister. Wow. But yes, I think we can all agree. Put up a 1, people, if you think that Ockeve is guilty, or if you believe his phone call. Put up a 2, because I think we can all agree that it's a pile of doo-doo. Miss Bonzi, Miss Bonzi, you got some. I love Miss Bonzi.
This is actually funny.
I'm in the mood for some jokes tonight.
But I wouldn't even mind. He don't even represent himself properly.
Emma Wright says, I don't think I could get used to hearing a voice from the US in the UK people business. Yeah, that's always going to be an issue. But where are the brothers in the UK? There ain't too many of them, is it? Stepping up and making a voice, my sister. What do you want?
Wow.
This brother is still one of our brothers. We need to get over that.
It's true. It's true. You've given me some really good advice.
This one says, I think you, Afua, are guilty as charged. Did anyone charge me with anything? I don't remember it, actually.
It was Ockeve. Maybe remember, it's only 1 charge you got, so the other 5 is for you.
We know it's one of those stupid trolls or whatever. We don't care. Remember, we had the trolls last week that was trying to pretend they're not trolls.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
That was embarrassing, man. Oh, my goodness. And then Kwame's side chick pretending she was just a mate. Just whatever.
Right.
Oy, these people.
I'm gonna say this. I'm like, look, you know what? It's a good thing that I'm actually here, because you know what? It's gonna go ahead and put a lot of other people on point and let them know that, hey, guess what? We're watching you from across the pond too.
Yeah,
and if you try that nonsense here in the US, if you come to the US and try that nonsense here, you see over in the UK they're being really nice with you. Here in the US, we'll feed you to the gate. We'll feed you to the gators.
My brother, sorry to cut you, but we need to start thinking globally as Black people, and especially us here in the British Isles, who are so few in number. You know, I don't know why we are in this false sense of security on these British Isles. I keep saying to people, Brother Malik, you see when that trumpet sounds and things go to the level that we know in the knowing community it will go to. Yeah, you ain't gonna
Right.
you're gonna, when you try to run, you're gonna hit nothing but the sea. Don't let yourself be like the Syrian refugees trying to escape. Do you understand what I'm saying? They must think they're on a continent, these Black people over here. They think they're on a continent. They think they've arrived. They think they got roots. They think, oh yeah, you know, we're all British. And when that trumpet sounds, I'm telling you, them I got fucked. That's what's going to happen over here. And you know, taking it alone, but that's what I know is going to happen. You know, and we're prepared for it because we're global. You know, we can land in Africa anytime and link. We can land in the US anytime and link. We can land in the Caribbean anytime and link. Yep. That's how it's supposed to be. So all of this bit like the American accent, forget the American accent. We all Black slaves just in different locations with different languages and accents, sister.
Facts.
Right. Picks up, innit? Oh, I hope this ain't the same one from last week. Hello. Who is this?
Facts.
Melissa? Hello, Melissa?
Yeah, I just heard you mention me, and one that's
you had your time last week, sis.
No, but
not
that's
happening
awful.
this
Why
week. We're muting you. You are an absolute charlatan. We found out who you are. You're not objective. You are not having your say this week, so you could just get off. It's as simple as that. Yeah, go on, my brother. She's coming like a magic now. Go and cry in the comments. Go and bawl in the comments, Melissa. Bye, Melissa. Exactly. Thanks, Shani. Bye.
I'm telling you, man. They're gonna.
You didn't make a great representation last week, sister. I'm not sure why it is. I just heard you mention me. You looking beef. Like, what is this? Honestly, it's not happening.
Why don't you just let her come on and let her talk? Yeah, sure. So she could. Let her dig her. She's already dug her own grave. I mean,
bro, I ain't in the mood, and we're not having a 4-hour live tonight, and it ain't about Kwame had his say last week. Yeah, he's still in the same position as far as we're concerned. She didn't represent him any way, shape, or form. And not only that, I didn't ask her a pertinent question last week. She can answer it in the comments if she wants. Prove that he didn't do it. This is what I say to all of them. Prove that you didn't do it then. How about that? Where's your proof? Oh, I ain't got time for it. It's a very old story, bro. I don't know what. They're just hyping. Yes, my sister. You're back with us. Wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really happy that I came on the show. You know, like it's a weight lifted off my shoulders.
Fantastic, my sister.
Yeah, at least even though Ockeve wasn't here, and I think that he just used his solicitor or whatever as an excuse to not come on because he probably would have got slaughtered.
Absolutely.
You know, I think people can just see how deranged and how dishonest he really is.
Absolutely, sis. Absolutely. He may well have been advised by the likes of Gwenton and Vivamun to don't bother with it, or other people. He says that he watches the platform or something, or he came to a march or something like that.
Yeah, he's screenshotted people on your page, Marie Mahoney. I think he was moving to her as well.
Go away, Melissa. You're doing Melissa, sorry, sis. You're doing a magic. Honestly. You keep trying to come back on to say what? To say what, sis? Go away. You had over an hour. I'm sure it was longer than that last week. Was it last week or the week before? I can't even remember. But you had your time.
It was last week. It was last week.
Yes. You said your piece. Yeah, you said your piece. I mentioned you again. So what? You don't have any right to come on right now. It's not about you. It's alive. Get over it. Yes, go on, sis. Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, sis, you've done the right thing. You know that you're standing on very, very solid ground. There's nothing that he can say to deny this. He tried to on the phone. I mean, it was pathetic. And, at the end of the day, guilty as far as we're concerned. And we will be there at the trial when it comes up next year. We'll be there with you, sister.
He seems to think it's gonna bust, and then
Well, he
somehow
says that he's
mysterious I
Ockeve,
will go
isn't
to
he?
jail. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He acts like there's no God. He really does act like there's no good in the world. He really, really thinks that what he does will just overtake everything. So if that's the case, how come you're still broke? Because if you see how much fast luck he has in his house, so much obia stuff, and still he never get nothing.
Oh, he has Obia
He's got
paraphernalia in his house, does
yes,
he?
yes.
Like
He's
what, sis?
always
Wow.
fasting. He's always fasting and candles and
Oh
fast luck.
Lord, have
He's got
mercy.
bottles, a bottle of fast luck, and he's got loads of them. Yeah, and he baths with things, and he says, "Oh, yeah, you should bath with this and give it to the kids." And I never paid him no mind. I never took nothing from him.
Him love
No.
got a candle shop, yeah?
This is the
Oh
thing. He loves to
wow.
do all them kind of things. Yeah, he's always doing that stuff, but I don't see what it's doing for him. It just looks like it's just making him more demonic.
Mm-mm.
Like when
I'm
you're
so
doing so
glad
much
you
wrong.
I'm
Run
so
in.
glad you've got that out of your house, because that's some seriously dark elements. You should
Oh
link up
yeah.
with that idiot girl Afua Belly, because she likes to work up here as well.
Oh my gosh.
And they're
It's
both
just not working out for him because the fast luck it's like bad luck, to be honest, because it's like he's broker and broker.
mm.
All I ever did was try to uplift him, because why I don't need my boyfriend as an employee. I don't need him to work for me, or I don't need to give him jobs. You could do that yourself. You're
As
independent
a
now.
man, I mean, it's quite demeaning, isn't it? He
Exactly.
hold up his
And
head.
then when he was on the conversation with you saying, "Oh, I tiled her house and I painted it," but I paid for that. So why are you shouting about it?
Listen, what this baby father, yeah? I never used to ask him for anything. I
She's
always said,
burning candles for heat. Sorry.
I never used to ask
I'm
him for
reading
a
some
penny.
of these comments, and the comments are hilarious.
I
It
know
says
they're
Morty's
hilarious.
burning candles for heat. Wow.
Wow.
Damn.
What this baby father used to, you know, I was on unpaid maternity leave because I hadn't been in my job that long. So, things got a bit tough at one point when I was off on maternity leave. And I asked him for nothing. I said to him, like, you ain't really got it. So just make your maintenance be your time, right? So every so often, I would say to him, look, I need like 10 quid or whatever for nappies. And he would ask me back for the £10 the following week for the nappy. After being a non-maintenance
Wow,
fee.
for nothing.
Can you believe it? I used to
No,
cuss him and tell him he ain't getting nothing. I could not believe it.
no.
This is the
Oh
conduct
my
of these people. It's
gosh.
unreal.
Oh
It's
my god.
unreal.
I'm so happy that I don't have any child or got pregnant for a kid, because boy, I wouldn't be able to get nothing or nothing because he's not on the books. He wouldn't give nothing. Ugh.
Sister, you've survived. You've come this far. You are not looking back. I love your stance. I don't have any fear. Some sisters I talk to, I have a fear in this capacity that they may go back.
Ew.
I
Nah.
have no fear for you that
No
you'll be
way.
going back to this character
No
whatsoever. So
way.
keep liberating yourself, my sister. Keep liberating
Yes.
yourself, okay? Thank you so much for telling us your story and for shining the light on this person. I hope that other people that know him, sisters that are being chirped by him, sisters that potentially might think they want to get with him, will take heed from your experience. It will be up to you and on you, sister, if you see this live and you still go with this guy. You understand what I'm
Exactly.
saying? But thank you, sister.
Yes.
Blessings love to you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll talk. We'll talk after, sis. Blessed love.
Bye, everyone.
Oh, she's
Good
such a
night,
lovely,
sister. Wow.
what a
Yeah,
nice,
she's brave. She's
she's a
brave.
lovely girl. And she's young, she's young. This nasty man is coming and mashing up her little life. Listen to the things that he said to her. He's going to burn the house down with her and her children in it, brother. Enough's enough with these guys. And the thing is that he will do it. They are capable of doing it in their mad moments. And then what? Try to claim insanity. I'll tell you one thing. If you come across my assessment chair, I'll have you fit for trial. I'll tell you that, mate. You'll be getting right, bro?
These brothers are off the hook, man. They I mean, what don't get me wrong, we have we have those types over here in the
Of
US
course,
too.
of course.
But at the same token, it's like, man, it's like over there you're more isolated. It's
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we're just fewer in number and less united. That's what I think, my brother.
well,
But bro,
it's not even so much less united, to be honest with you. Is that, you know what? You see, the real warriors don't want to go ahead and they don't want to step up and defend the wrong person. We
yeah.
don't have there's no meeting ground over there. That's the
Mm-hmm.
problem.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna resolve all that, though. We're gonna
Mm-hmm.
resolve all that. It's gonna be resolved, and much throughout the, yeah, we're gonna come to accord. That's for sure. Once everything is set up, we're gonna be on one accord, and we're gonna be reunited, helping each other from place to place to place. That's for sure. I promise you that. And you just have to do things in an organized fashion, because, believe it or not, over here in the States, for business, in a lot of aspects, and not to put our business out there, but in a lot of aspects, not well organized. They're a little bit loose about it, and
You're
we'll
breaking up a little bit,
maintain
bro.
that. You don't have that. You can say that professional decorum, and we don't know how to go ahead. We don't know how to go ahead and use the law.
Oh, he's gone off. Don't know what happened there. Love Pod, DM me some information about that, actually. I want to know if that's actually got any basis to it. I don't know if that's true or not, but let's see if it's got any basis to it. DM me, sister or brother or whoever that is, Love Pod. Let's look into that. Bro, you got cut off, but maybe at an opportune time, because I'm wrapping up round about now. Oh, brother Malik. I was saying, bro, you cut at an opportune time, because I'm kind of wrapping up round about now.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that,
bro. No, that's okay.
No. But I was just saying that even though we do things somewhat disorganized here, but we still try to get things done. As opposed to over there, from what I'm seeing, it's kind of like brothers are afraid to step up because they don't want to go ahead and defend the wrong person. And I understand that. That's still not an excuse. You know what I mean?
Not an excuse not to
Because
safeguard sisters. And let's not even talk
right,
about the
exactly.
community. In this case that we saw tonight, this is literally within a family. And that's where it starts, bro. It starts within the family, doesn't it? At the end of the day. So this is how it's going to be. The family is a microcosm of the wider society. So where does it start? It starts at home. And if we're not seeing these practices at home, there's no hope for the society or the community. You know, the work needs to be done on the doorstep. That's where it needs to be done, brother. But, you know, we got a lot of talking to do, and we will be talking, as you know, bro. We talk a lot. Let's keep talking, bro. I'm going to chat to you soon, okay?
All right.
Blessed love, my brother.
Peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, Aki. Wa alaikum salam. And there we have it, my brothers and sisters, honestly. Yes, V Nubia, I hate abusers as well. I hate them with a passion. They are the biggest cowards on the planet. And, you know, I've come across a few in my lifetime, but my stance is always the same. It's always the same. I will fight you. I will out you. I will call feds on you. I will do everything to ensure that you know in no uncertain terms that you cannot bully me. You know, I always told a story to my bullies and whatever. That the last bully I encountered, I was 8 years old. He was called Chooks Chidozi. He went to my primary school. If you're watching, Chooks, like, I hope you've changed. And he used to go around just punching everyone. He was a big kid, you know, big for his age. And I was probably small for my age, I'd say. And he punched me in the back one day and took my cola cubes. And I just decided that day I just wasn't going to have it. So I garnered up all the courage that I could find. It was in the classroom. It was a wet play. I'll never forget it. I was 8 years old. To me, he looked like a man to how tall this youth was for his age. And there was a meter stick lent up by the blackboard. And I just walked over. He just took the sweets and carried on chatting with his friends and whatever and thought nothing of it after the punch. And I went and got that meter stick and I bust his ass with it and took my sweets back. And I became the hero of the school. And from that day till this, I've never taken shit off of a bully, quite frankly, no matter what age I am. So So yeah, we don't do bullies, and we definitely don't do pedos and the rest of those perpetratory men. Absolutely despicable. These men, none of them, as far as I'm concerned, can chat to us. None of them, as far as I'm concerned, has proven their integrity as black men in this community that put themselves on the line to safeguard our sisters. I'm not seeing it. I see it within families and individuals. I know that my cousins will ride out for me. You know, I know that my brothers would at the end of the day, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking on a community level, on a macro level. Do we see that happening? No, we don't. You know, and stop having a go at Afua and trying to threaten my life just because I say that it's time that we took the bull by the horns and the sisters took control. A doji. That's what we're building. My brothers and sisters, have a wonderful weekend. We need to talk about the march. I'm going to leave it till next week because it's clearly not going to be the normal time that it is, which is only a couple of weeks from now. But we need to discuss options. Let's do that. There are one or two kind of updates that I wanted to go in, but to be honest with you, you've got to be up early for class tomorrow, and I am knackered, so I'm not going to go into it tonight. Wait for next week. Look out for the bulletins on Instagram. And people, blessed love. His time is up, family. Stay strong. I see your strength getting stronger. We know who the enemies are without and within, and we know that we are more than ready to weather the storm. Blessed love, people, and I'll see you next week. Blessed love.